Hi, we're
Yo.
here finally. It's been we were talking about Elden Ring and other things.
I was gonna say we were debating whether or not canceling the stream and just leaving you all sitting here waiting for it to start while we all played Elden Ring together.
That is not at all true.
That was not what happened at all.
I mean, it kind of
That's
happened.
what I was.
Cuphead all the way.
Cuphead.
Cuphead's great.
I
Everybody in
want
this
to play
stream,
Cuphead.
everyone is a glutton for punishment in this stream.
Embrace the suck.
I just like to be challenged.
Nick, if you like Cuphead, you'd like Dark Souls.
See, that's the thing.
Well,
Yeah,
maybe not.
I like Cuphead because
they're similar
they
in
are
ways,
the
but they're very
same
different.
thing.
Well, they are, but they're both like hard.
Yes, that is true. They are like deliberately meant to be
hard,
hard.
but that's not like the thing about Cuphead.
Yeah, but that's like playing
a
Aladdin on the Sega Genesis.
Yeah,
or,
that game's
like
also
Lion
hard.
King, where it's like I've never
Why do
beat
you
the
hate
second
yourself?
level of
Why
Lion
do you
King.
hate
just
Maybe the
because-
second level.
Or Battletoads.
Cuphead, Dark Souls, same themes.
Yeah,
Same
everything.
That's what
art
we gotta
style.
learn today. Yep.
Same gameplay.
Honestly, it's amazing they even
Same
made
gameplay.
Cuphead. but
The only
Dark Souls already
difference is one is a
existing.
show on Netflix and the other one doesn't. Netflix, you
And
gotta
the other
get on
one
that.
doesn't. So
Well, no,
who's
yeah, Elden
winning?
Ring will probably get an HBO show called Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's true,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to see like exactly what Martin contributed like to the story, because I can't imagine it's much, because there's so much like still weird Dark Souls shit in there. I'm like, they probably came to you and you wrote some shit down on a napkin and handed it to the guy and he was like, awesome, cool. There's an Elden Lord and there's people trying to become it. We'll take that and run with it. Thank you very much.
I just thought it was really funny that like his name, like what it was when they first started developing this game, and then
he was
what
like, I don't even know what Dark Souls or video games are.
Yeah.
And then what it is now, it's like now it's kind of it's less of a badge of honor and more of a, ooh, do you really want his name on there?
It was really funny.
You know,
Like,
it was written
if
by him.
there are no characters of color with any prominent things to do, then you'll know that it was George R. R. Martin.
I'm dead. Cut.
You also have to contend that it's a Japanese studio too, so it just kind of tosses another wrench into that whole like situation.
It's just like, man, that's how I'll know he was involved.
I'm trying
like,
to think
that's
if I've come across any NPCs that are like not like look white or
It's hard to tell because they're all in armor.
Yeah, and that's the thing is
Like,
everyone
all of their
looks like
faces are covered.
They're all
so
in
you can't
armor. They all
tell.
look like monsters. They all have like 400 limbs that they can
Yeah.
attack you with. I mean,
It's hard to tell a lot of times because it's either they're in armor or they're just an absolute beast.
I mean, at least they're being
Or
diverse
they're a
with
woman.
people that have a bunch of random limbs that are used to attack people, so they're represented at
The
least.
multi-limb community who watch this stream will feel represented.
They will. We are supporting
Indeed.
Elden Ring for its representation of multi-limb
Goodness.
monsters that attack people.
Oh goodness.
We're terrible, or I'm terrible, maybe specifically, but. Well, and with that, why don't we go ahead and get started?
That's our
And,
Let's
DM.
try at least.
Let's try to
Yeah, let's try at least. It's 50. Yeah,
not
it's more like 50
multi-track
minutes
drift
after.
too hard.
We've been
Multi-track
worse, I think. I
drifting.
think we started an hour, half hour after we were supposed to.
Oh, for sure.
We definitely started later than
All right.
Let's
so,
just never start.
I'll get some music going in just a second here because I got some actual music for the other here that I found today.
Ooh.
So anyways, you guys continued on with your Carnival exploits with Joel. You went and saw. I'm trying to think of what order you did everything in. I know you went to the mine. You went to the mine, like roller coaster, and some of you experienced your worst fears on display while you were in this terrible, horrible ride. And remember, you took a D8 of nightmares, depending on how long, what you rolled there. After that, you headed to a show where you watched a mermaid do some tricks, and she was heckled by some incredibly challenge rating high 14-year-old boys that you basically told to shove off, and you made them feel weird about their existence, which good for you. Actually, before that, you also rode dragonflies because those same boys were chucking rocks at the dragonflies too. So that's where I kind of introduced all that. So yeah, a lot of kind of like fun, cute little fluffy stuff going on. But the big meat and potatoes of the adventure was finally the crowning of the Carnival Monarch, which it went to our lovely Darian Kipps. And he and the rest of the group got a one-way ticket to meet with the Carnival owners, Mr. Witch and Mr. Light. Upon talking to them, you learn that this carnival is actually from a land called the Other, a alternate dimension of sorts of magical energies. And things in the Other were fine and dandy until these hags showed up and the queen of the Other went to sleep. And then these hags were able to take over and have made everything terrible. And slowly, the Witchlight Carnival is beginning to lose its power and its magic. So they tasked Darian Kipps, who is exhibiting large amounts of Fey energy, with the task of ridding the Other of these hags, waking up their queen, and then coming back and taking the carnival over from them because they're getting old and running out of magic and want to retire. More interesting, though, or in two more interesting pieces, you find out that the queen who sleeps within her palace, her crystal palace, looks 100% identical to Marilli, the departed half-elf girl that you had met several sessions ago and had done quite a bit of stuff with, and Joel's kind of love interest. The other thing you learn, too, is that there may be one of the map pieces that you're seeking out that will lead you to the weapon that will end all beckonings. With this in mind, the group reluctantly agreed to go and assist Mr. Witch and Mr. Light, and they allowed you into the Other, where you arrived on a destroyed, dilapidated bridge overlooking a swamp, and then off in the distance is a large crystal palace. And I believe that is everything, unless someone else has something I missed, and if not, then we will begin today. So, you guys are standing on this large bridge here, as I had stated. It extends several miles in front of you, but you can tell even through the fog and the mist where you stand, there are multiple pieces of it that are destroyed and gone. And I don't mean like, oh, we can just hop to the other side. I mean, there's like a mile of this bridge missing.
Wow.
Okay.
There's also a almost thick fog-like dome that is obscuring the Crystal Palace. Which I should note, Mr. Light said that the hag's magic was preventing people from entering the Crystal Palace, and that you would either need to kill them to obtain their magic or convince them to give it to you. What would you guys like to do?
So the bridge heads in the direction of the palace?
It does. Sentinel, you would assume that this bridge would be considered a one-way ticket to get to the palace if it wasn't destroyed currently.
And there's nothing
How far
behind
is the
us, like
bridge
from where
from
we
one
came
side
from.
to
We
the
just
other
kind of
side?
entered.
There is a fog that gets denser and denser. It almost looks like clouds, like you would extend and walk off into the clouds.
Well,
Which is another thing I should
Bridge
note
is
too.
out.
Is that this fog kind of extends, almost encircling you right now. So if you gaze below, you see about 100 feet down what looks to be a swamp of sorts. And it's difficult to tell landmarks and objects. You kind of see a tower, you kind of see a big hill, you see an area with some lights and stuff. Could be really anything. But there's this fog that seems to like encompass and engulf this area. And you can't really see beyond it, but you can tell there are lands beyond it, because on your right, you can see what looks like foliage and trees and a green color. While on the left, there are mountains and lifelessness, despair, even.
How far between where we're standing and the other end of the bridge?
That is an excellent question. About 100 miles.
Oh.
oh, jeez.
But it's not continuous. You said the bridge is like
there's
broken.
pieces
with
missing,
swaths
yeah.
of-
It is broken in multiple spots.
So it's not like we're going to be able to
No,
traverse this
Yeah,
bridge.
we're not getting across this bridge unless any of us can magically make it a bridge again.
So
At
looks
least
like
walk-
down into the swamp.
That, or we can at least walk to as far as we can go on the bridge and then stop at a chasm. See if it's closer to the ground at least.
Yeah, how much
I will
bridge is in
say,
front of us?
Arthur, you are able to tell the bridge kind of does one of those things where it slopes up, and then
Okay.
Arches,
so
big
you would
arch.
actually be hiring or moving higher up than
Okay.
you would be moving down.
So scratch that. Yeah, if we're gonna pick a side where like the right side is green and lush and the left side is like death and despair, I'm gonna vote for the green side.
I would agree with you.
Yeah, I don't necessarily want to go to.
I
But
also
that's
didn't
just
want to
me.
be here in the
Don't let
first.
me make the decision for us.
Oh no, I'm 100% on board going down. Past
So
green
does there look like
pathways.
there are like things that are holding up the bridge that we
Yes,
could
there are huge
climb down or?
Yep, huge stone pillars are supporting you. And Sentinel, if you give me a perception check, I may be able to tell you more.
Do it.
Perceive?
It is 18 plus
wow.
Big boy.
whatever my perception
You-
is, plus
That's
4,
good.
22.
Whatever your
Perceptive.
perception is doesn't matter because you definitely got that. So Sentinel, you kind of
Oh.
head over to the side. The bridge has a bit of a guard wall, but it's not huge. In terms of an average sized person like Darby, it probably goes up to your waist, Darby. So it'd be very easy to like trip and fall over this thing. So Sentinel, you're high enough, you gaze over, and you can actually see what looks to be almost like jutted cobblestone pieces of these that hold this bridge up that you guys could use as handholds to get down.
You said it's like 100 feet down?
It is 100 feet down.
Or wing holds
Or wing
if
holds.
you don't have hands.
Yeah.
Or wing holds, yes.
I
Claw
mean, he
holes.
can fly, so it's not that big. He'll just
He
float
can't
down.
fly that much.
No,
Well, I mean,
over the
it
course
looks,
of enough turns.
unless you guys want to try to scout out, I mean, it looks like it's a little hard to see where we're supposed to be going, but if we just head in the direction of the palace, we can head down over here.
Yeah, luckily the bridge is kind of big, so even if we're not on it, we can at least follow it.
Follow it. That's a
Yeah.
good idea.
Easy landmark.
At least I hope it doesn't disappear when we hit the ground.
That could happen.
Anything could happen.
Yeah.
Let's
Never
So you
do
guys
it.
would like to start climbing your way down the
Sure.
bridge.
Unless somebody
Yeah.
else has got another idea.
No, I'm down to climb.
Alrighty then.
Or I'm climb to down. That was dumb.
Okay.
That was
So
weird.
as you guys kind of
Right.
approach the, getting ready to climb down, which I'll need rolls from everyone except Jamie because he has a climb speed. Jamie, you will be able to do this, no issue at all. You've done worse in your time.
What,
Maybe you've never been 100 feet in the air before, but you've gone up and down worse before.
Yeah.
Acrobatics or
how-
athletics?
Athletics, real quick though.
Mhm.
Darby,
Oh.
as everyone's kind of like, testing the hand, the raised cobblestone where your hands could hold on to, you notice something. In the distant sky, you spot a great balloon made of patchwork material. It spins out of control through a puncture, causing the wicker basket hanging from it to swirl wildly. The balloon plunges out of sight, disappearing into the fog approximately a mile away. It seems to have landed near where the large tower is that you can barely make out through the fog.
Did anyone else notice the large balloon?
DM, do I notice this?
No, only Darby was the one who noticed this.
Nope.
Darby,
No.
clearly you're on drugs and need to chill out.
I don't know about that. I'm pretty sure that was Jamie that was on drugs, but
I was not on drugs. Thank you very much. I had been magically
Manipulated.
assaulted.
yes, okay.
Very
However
different.
you decide you want to define it doesn't matter to me. There was a giant balloon with a basket under it that I
That's
guess
not definition. That's
it doesn't matter. A
They're
balloon
there.
crashed.
They're there, Jamie. They're there.
It's okay. Don't worry about it. But a large balloon crashed over by where the tower thing was. Seemed.
Crashed? You think we would have heard something?
Well, I mean, it is pretty far away.
It is 100 feet down and probably several miles away.
Yeah, it's far away. You know, if a tree falls in a forest. No
How much would you willing to bet that there was a balloon that crashed over there? You're a gambling man.
Well,
I trust your gamble more than I trust you.
I trust my gamble more than I trust me too. I don't know how much I trust this land. I I've never
Fair
been
enough.
here.
We're heading that way anyways. We might
Yeah.
as well see if there's something over there.
All right. If you guys would like to start making your way
Yeah.
down, besides Jamie, I will need an athletics roll from everyone.
Oh god, I'm bad at this.
Okay, who feels like they would have the before we climb? Who feels like they'd have the worst
He
time
rolled.
of it?
Joel,
have
but
a
Joel
+0.
rolled over what he needed to, so he's okay.
I
I
have
just rolled a nat 20, so
no
I'm feeling
strength score.
pretty good.
And Sentinel
Alright, so
can
I'm gonna go
fly.
to Darby. I'm gonna go to Darby, and I'm gonna walk over to him and be like, "All right, here's some basics of climbing. You know, plan out your stuff, pace yourself. You know, don't look down. Just keep climbing until you get to the bottom. And I will pat you on the shoulder, and now you have a D4 that you can use."
Thank you.
I should ask as well, does anyone have climbing gear on them?
I don't
Nope.
think so.
No,
I
well,
do.
I might actually.
You might. I don't think
They double
I
check.
don't know what comes.
I do.
I don't know what comes in my stuff, my burglar's bag. So let me quick.
Actually, a Burger's Pack might have something here now. So it's
Yeah,
fine.
let me quick
Oh!
check here.
Oh no! It didn't help.
No, I do not.
All
Me
right.
and Darby are dead. I
I
rolled.
All right.
I nat 1, so I got a 3 with the
Oh.
D4.
Oof.
Oh
Oof.
my goodness.
I rolled a total with my athletics because I can't use my acrobatics. I
Yeah.
have a total of 9.
I have a 3.
Can I try to catch Darby?
Yes, you can attempt to catch Darby. So, who wants to start? Who wants to be the first to start down there?
I would. Arthur would be confident. He'd be the.
right,
I've done this before.
Arthur,
I've gone down a mast before. Like this is nothing.
I've climbed ladders.
Arthur, you test it a little bit. You start slowly making your way down. You're cupping, the extended cobblestone as you make your way down. Like you said, this is like
I'm
a
cupping
mast.
them all right.
Due to the climate of this place, this kind of swampy, arid climate that is just humid and nasty, especially as you make your way down, you kind of feel your fingers flipping on some moss, Arthur, and as you grip on, you pull your hands back and you immediately fall backwards. You fall about 60 feet before you hit splat! Large amount of mud and murk below you, which fortunately just manages to cushion the fall a bit, but you will still take
Oh, real
four
quick.
yes.
Before you say the damage,
'Kay.
I was wondering, and this is whether Arthur would do this, but like as you start to fall, do I see him do this? I see him fall.
I guess
He's the first one down.
he is going down first, correct.
Okay, so then like
I did
would
say
just,
he fell about 60 feet down though.
So I
guess
made about 40 feet down,
Almost
and
halfway.
so
So we probably had other
Yeah.
people following him before.
yeah. So I
Other
would
people
need to know
would've
the
been fine.
order here.
yeah. Okay, I was gonna say because I would have told him to do something different if I thought it was gonna be like that bad. But okay, yeah, I'd probably go after Arthur because
Okay.
I'm
I-
best at
I
climbing.
will say, Jamie, you probably wouldn't know what it would look like making your way down, considering you're not 100% sure what the
I would have
what
yelled
the
at him if I saw him slipping, is to use the spider and not fall anymore. Like use the spider and then just touch the wall because he has spider climbing if he uses
Oh,
it.
yes,
Yes.
that's a good point.
But I was like,
Yeah.
just like I didn't know how fast.
I would
Yeah.
really appreciate that advice. But after slipping, I don't really know if he'd consciously think to
Yeah.
do
Grab
that
a
and just kind
spider
of
out of his
fall.
bag and try to spider climb.
Because that's what I would have thought.
He just
All
would
right,
have
so
been like, finally.
in terms of order, we had Arthur, Jamie, who was next.
I'll go.
Darby would have gone last because I got the pep talk and I have no idea how
I
to
heard
climb.
Darian.
And
Joel
then
will
I'll
go next.
go.
Joel's like, all right, we'll do Sentinel, then Joel, and then Darby.
Yeah.
So, all right, Arthur, you hit the ground, and it does cushion your blow, but not by much. You took
Water ain't friendly at that height.
17 points of bludgeoning damage from hitting the ground.
Okay.
Honestly-
Just so I'm clear, I still have 5 damage marked down on my hit points. Did we get a long rest?
You are
sometime
all long
within
rest
that?
at
Okay.
this point. Yeah, you guys
That's
should
what I
have.
be
thought.
full.
Yeah, you should be fine.
Oh, you know what? I
Alright.
think that was the cupcakes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Because you
that was
threw
the
up.
custard,
Yeah.
the custard
Yeah, you
damage.
took, you took 5 custard
Oh,
damage.
okay.
Yep, so you're good.
Custard.
Uh,
I almost forgot about it. Yeah.
Yep, so everyone starts your way down. Jamie, you kind of like look down. You just see Arthur like tumbling down. Just hear splat.
Oh boy.
I'm alright. I'm okay.
Okay.
And so
Everybody
after
can just
Jamie
flop.
goes Darian, and then Sentinel, and then Joel, and they start making their way down. And Darby, you begin.
I hear
And
splat and I look down and I panic.
yeah, immediately you hear splat and you look down, and if you've seen the cartoons, that drop just like zooms out and it goes from being 100 feet to 600 feet.
FOV
And
just zooms out.
you pause for a second, you go to put your foot down, you just hit the stone poorly, and you immediately topple down and begin falling. Now, Darren, you said you wanted to try and grab him.
Yes.
I
I'll
am
reach
going
out
to
and catch.
need a dex at disadvantage.
I do not have this one.
Okay,
I love
that's
this music.
not terrible. Forgot my dex and strength switch. Okay,
Sounds
so
very Kingdom
13.
13. Unfortunately, you go to reach out and grab him, Darian, and you manage to grab his hat, but the hat is not attached to his body,
No, it does not.
and Darby continues to fall down the full 100 feet where he strikes the ground.
Can Arthur dive out of the way?
It's a large enough area he misses.
Okay.
I will not make you dive
I
out.
would like to say that he's falling exactly where I am, and I dive back into the bog, not to get hit, rather than catch him.
You take 38 points of bludgeoning damage as you strike the ground hard.
I am almost unconscious.
I'm gonna
Oh
shout
my
out.
goodness.
Are you okay?
Oh god.
I want to go over to him and I will help him out. All
Alright, you guys make it down.
Hey. All right, bud. I said,
far
I
less
only
graceful
really
than
gave you
mine.
2 instructions.
I
gave
know.
you
I
2
didn't listen to
instructions.
either
One
of
of which
them.
was to watch your hands.
I heard
And the other
splat
one
and looked
was
down,
don't-
and that was a mistake.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
best
you
thing
did.
to do when
You
you're going to
sure
hit
did,
water is not to lay out.
You know,
you gotta tuck in. As
I'm
soon
not-
as area is
Slow
not
the
your friend.
fall.
look,
Yeah.
I'm not experienced in this kind of thing. Right, the most I've ever done is dive over a table.
Okay, well.
Now you
all
can
right,
say that you've dived more than the table.
I've dove off a bridge apparently now. Oh god.
All of you that have made it down, the swamp is about knee deep for you.
Damn.
Now that
Even Joel gets down and is like, "Okay, let's never do that again. That was
No.
terrifyingly awful."
No, let's never do that again.
So you get 11. Wait, no. 1, 4 is 5 plus 5. You get 10
Wait,
hit
yeah.
points back.
Okay. Alright,
What's
well,
your
I used
HP
it.
right now, Darby? So I can
Uh,
update your token.
I
so you
dropped to
can't-
4, and then that put me up to 14.
Thank you.
So I got beat up by that.
So
but
you
now
guys
that Darby is like kind of conscious again and not completely like knocked out by the fall. He will immediately go to reach for his hat, see it's not on his head, and then like glance around and see Darian is holding it and just
Yeah.
aggressively grab it out of his hand.
I was gonna give it to you, but okay.
If we don't-
Marching on, Mister. I can't climb down
Arthur
the
will
wall.
just kind of smirk at the like bog smuttered Darby with a pristine hat on. It's great. He won't say anything. He'll just admire it.
It's okay.
Both of you
Arthur.
guys are pretty much bog covered
are
at this
covered.
point.
I'm
I'm
covered.
casting prestidigitation on myself over time to keep this bog off as much as I can.
Sticky mud squelches beneath your feet. Tangled mangroves grow out of pools of rippling water, half hidden by thick fog, and purple mushrooms cling to rotting logs and stumps scattered throughout the marsh. Crickets that glow like fireflies chirp serenely before they are snatched out of the air by tongues of hungry frogs. The bog possesses a foul stench, perhaps some of the most foul that you've ever had. Most likely coming close to what you've smelled, Arthur, being out on the high seas and being surrounded by stale, musty water. You cannot see through the water. It is a thick, murky green. And as you slosh through it, it feels as though you are walking through pudding. Thick, viscous vanilla pudding. Don't taste it, though. I can guarantee you it does not taste like pudding.
There's only one way to know that for sure.
Yeah, there's only one way to truly.
There
Me
is.
me and Darby probably got a mouthful already.
Yeah,
so-
you guys
Yeah.
know it just tastes like nasty bog water.
Yeah,
Like if
stink.
you've ever
Oh,
fallen in a lake at that like edge where all the algae forms and you get a mouthful of
duckweed,
water
yeah.
and it just tastes stale and earthy, that is what you taste. But it's thick because it's muddy and gross.
You're right, fantastic.
I'd be worried you might have caught a disease.
Jeez.
So he's gonna try and wring out some of his clothes as they begin working their way towards the mysterious balloon that Darby
Is that where you
saw.
guys are going to head towards the tower that you can see off in the distance? It's not too far from you because it is in visible view compared to some of the other things. Down where you are now, you can still sort of see this hill off in the distance as well, quite a ways away from the tower. That's a little smaller, where this tower is more large and in focus. But it's difficult to tell the exact distance to get there.
The balloon's on the way to the palace, right?
for the
No,
tower.
the balloon and tower are technically slightly to the south of you, southeast technically, but not like ridiculously southeast. Like you might have to just walk on a slight angle for a little bit to get there.
And
Kinda
the
way.
castle is north of us then?
Yeah, yes, northeast roughly.
Oh, okay.
Think of this like a pie slice almost, where you've got like a fat bottom that kind of narrows into where the palace would be.
Okay.
Mm.
Well, in fairness, we're not gonna get to the castle anyways until we do something about these
That'd be
hags.
glitches,
So
yeah, these hags or whatever.
At least this is closer to figure out something about this
something,
world.
yeah.
Yeah.
To the balloon.
If there is a balloon, though I didn't see it, but if there is a balloon that someone's using to traverse to places, that means there's somebody with some semblance of intelligence here.
And maybe we can have them let us use their balloon. Either
Yeah, if we can
nicely
if we
or
fix
the
it.
way that we got the airship.
I mean, if it crashed,
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
But I could
crash
fix
doesn't
it.
mean
I
it's
could
not-
put it
yeah.
back together, and then we can fly around as opposed to having to walk on it.
would be very nice. Maybe.
All right, you guys will start making your way towards the tower and towards where Darby believes he saw the balloon crash.
follow Darby.
So you guys begin making your way from the bridge, but you do not make it very far. Actually, you only probably make it a few steps before you hear coming in direction several voices, joined in a marching song. The singing grows louder as several bipedal rabbits wearing clothing emerge from the fog. Two of them tug on the reins of a giant snail, and the others carry clubs and slings. These rabbit people, roughly 5 feet tall, so not, and that's where their heads come up to, not their ears. So their ears give them an extra bit of height, making them seem almost as large as you guys. And they sing a joyous tune, almost a celebration with tambourines and music and noisemakers and whizzle doodles and whappernappers and all this other crazy stuff that they've got.
Would seeing a rabbit folk be surprising? Is that something
no,
common?
none of you have ever seen rabbit people before.
Mm.
I mean, you've seen beast people before, but those are more humanistic with animal features. These are like walking
Straight up Bugs
bunny
Bunny.
rabbits.
Yeah,
Yeah,
these are
Bugs Bunny is a great way to describe them.
A live action Bugs Bunny.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
Mm.
Well, this is
Okay.
I mean, I guess we are in a
Yeah,
different
first.
place. Not surprising that the people are
Do
different.
they see us at all?
They
Or do we
do.
just hear 'em?
And as they approach, you see that there is about 20 of them, including their snail, as they emerge from the fog. One of them particularly has on slightly nicer clothes. The other outfits could be described as like trousers and shirts with holes in them, missing buttons. You got someone with a button down that's got like the middle button buttoned up to the top button to try and like put it all together. But this other hair, he kind of comes forward and he looks a little more well fitted. And the group looks at you. They kind of look to each other, and the one that's dressed a little nicer steps forward. He hops forward, his ears jiggling as he bounces towards you. He goes, "We are the Bunny Brigade.
Nice to
The
meet you.
State yourself
Of course.
and your business."
Bunny Brigade?
We don't technically have a group name
Oh,
yet.
yes.
Might want to work on
Yeah.
that, but
We
I
also
am
don't really
I
have
am Arthur.
real business here. But
We are the owners of the Zafar Inn.
yeah.
We do
Yeah.
not know what that is.
I
well,
mean,
we're
we
not
hardly
from
do
around
either.
Here, so
You are newcomers to our land, we see. Did you hear that, everyone? Newcomers who have come to Egdon's land.
To
Eggon,
whose land?
please tell me of
Egdon?
this Eggon.
Egdon is only the most vile, the most vicious bandit who's ever dared to walk these murky bongs. He is our leader, a glorious individual who is a rogue and who is cunning and deceitful.
Oh, he sounds like a cool guy.
name's
He
a
is
little
immensely
unfortunate.
cool. And you, my fair friends, have descended into his realm.
Oh, well,
And
we
that
didn't mean to
comes with a
trespass.
price.
Ah,
It
shit.
always does.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
the
you
price
really-
telling us that somebody's deceitful? Because by telling us he's deceitful, you kind of defeat the purpose
Yeah.
of him being deceitful.
Yeah.
That was kind of like the whole
It's
bit.
it's
Unless
the
he's
whole-
known.
secretly not deceitful.
Yeah, if he's like actually
And
really
that's
trustworthy,
it.
that
would
would make a
be
lot of
the big
sense.
con.
That would be
actually.
the
That
cake
is
right
it.
there.
That's a great
Yeah.
idea. We should try
Yeah.
that sometime.
Darby,
actually.
Darby,
That
write
is
that one down.
his
Yeah, I'll write that down. Oh, that's a good
The
idea.
stories have long been sung about Egdon long scarf and ways, his womanizing, his battles, his
Long
thievery and
scarfing way.
roguery.
Never heard of
Egdon.
him.
Well, you are not from this
Mm.
land, so of course you have not heard of them, just as I have not heard of Zafar Inn.
It's true that you make a good point.
That
Yeah,
is fair,
that is
Bunny
a
Brigade
factual
guy.
statement.
What
My name is Jebik. I am one of the generals of Sir Longscarf, and purveyor to our liege lady, Lady Balaronva.
Pleasure to meet you. I am
A
Arthur.
pleasure
Yeah,
to
no,
meet you.
This is Sentinel. This is Darian. This is Darby. And this is Dr. Jamie Lee Watts.
Wonderful. We love having people's names here. Names are very important where we come from.
Of course they are.
But there's a slight problem with everything that, with you arriving here and setting foot in our Longscarf's bong. You have stepped and you have muddled with his muck. You've jostled
No.
with his jimmies. You've tussled his trees, and now he is most upset and needs to be appeased. A toll! A toll! And all the rabbits start shouting, a toll, a toll, a toll!
Well, what is
Okay,
this toll?
what's the toll?
The toll is simple. And he summons forward the giant snail, which you see carries a large urn, which one of the Bunny Brigade goes up and yanks a large cork out of. With a force, you actually see him kicking his feet hard to the ground as he pulls this cork up. And a sweet scent almost wafts out from the large urn. You can all kind of smell it. It has a bit of a raspberry or even cherry-esque scent. Our Sir Longscarf appreciates memories, as does our lady who rules this place. Memories most vile to one, most upsetting, most depressing. Memories that will strike fear and anxiety into any who would re-witness them. You will each give us a memory, and we
Right.
will take that back to our lady and to Sir Longscarf.
Like, I just have to tell you
Yeah,
about
so
it,
just,
or are you about
say
to?
that I had a memory and then we're good
You
to
must
go?
speak. You must speak it into the urn.
So the toll
Yeah.
for being here is we just
But do I?
tell you a thing that happened to us one time that was really bad.
But when you do, it will no longer be yours. It will be ours.
Oh,
Okay,
Don't know if
that
I...
seems fair enough.
Yeah, is that really a bad...
People
So-
own memories.
All you want is a bad. All you want is a
Yeah,
bad.
you
That's
just
actually
Yeah.
a
That's
very fair price for
Yeah.
stuff. Just like a bad stuff. Do we forget it or do we still have it?
You will no longer remember it. It will be as if a piece of your life has left you and you will always question what that thing was. Long for it and seek it out. As many have who have dared set foot into the murky swamps of hither.
So when we speak it into the cauldron, it'll just be gone and no one will remember. I won't remember that's there.
Correct.
Huh. That's actually that could be an effective tool of like medicine, actually. What does it do about physical issues?
Physically.
Like
Now,
if I said like I was in incredible pain and that was my worst memory, would you take away the pain or would I just remember?
No, the pain would still be there. You would just never know what caused it.
Ah, I see.
And you would long to know what caused it.
Oh, well, that's kind of frustrating.
What if we refuse to pay the toll?
If you refuse to pay the toll, then the bunny brigade is gonna bunny you up a little bit. Isn't that right, boys?
Oh, okay. Well, that's
How does the bunny brigade know it's a real memory?
Because if it is not, it will not enter into the urn. We will know you are lying.
But
Could you give me an
memories
example?
aren't 100% truth. If I convince myself that I remember something a different way, even if it wasn't true, how would the urn tell the difference?
But are those emotions not still yours? Is all that negativity swirling around in that head of yours not something that you own and claim regardless of who else experienced it? Are they not yours?
Could you show me? What could you put a memory in the thing?
I have
can see?
already contributed to Sir Longscarf's horde, and I am incapable and unwilling to do another one, for I too have longed to remember what I have forgot, and it eats away at my soul every day.
I'm going to spit in Jebek's face.
You spit in his face.
Just spit in his face. And I'll be like, all right, so there you go. Here's a memory that I'm sure was not very fun for you, as I can't imagine enjoying getting spit in the face. Now you can just get rid of it.
You just spit
and you
on
don't even remember it happened.
Yeah, I have already given my memory, is what I was saying. I do not wish to give another one.
There's way less abrasive ways to offend something like that.
Interesting. I didn't know
being spit on.
Yeah, that's kind of.
All right, Chevy.
I mean, hey, whatever you want is what you want, but
you kind of see.
That's cool.
After that, you see the bunny brigade starting to get a lot more hostile about things.
I'm gonna put my hands up and step away from. I'm gonna step away from Dr. Watts with my hands up like this. Like, hey, wasn't me.
I'm gonna kind of approach it. I'm gonna approach him from the side and say, as much as I enjoy your displays of offensiveness, I'm not really sure we can win a battle of 20.
I have no intention of fighting these people. I was just.
I understand, but I have been stabbed for much less, Jamie. If I spit on half the people that I knew in my past life, I would have been killed.
Yeah, exactly. If they remember, I was like, if he could just erase memories.
How does Dr. Watts call me stupid? That's what I want to know.
Well, because you are.
He perceives the world a very specific way, Darian.
And if you do not prescribe to that specific way of thinking, then you are an idiot.
I was like, that's right. God, like rock and roll, dude. I meant no disrespect. I just really wanted to see you do something with your magic of memory eraser.
Being spat in the face is universal disrespect.
But, exactly. Except for if you can erase your memory, you won't even remember that it happened.
This argument isn't even worth having.
What was the bunny person's name? The well-dressed one? Jebek. What if we just turned around
and laughed?
Yeah, we didn't know we were trespassing. My apologies, but
you've already crossed over. You already must pay the toll. You've already murked in the muck. You've already jostled the jimmies. You've already tussled the trees.
Come on, man. I thought you were good at
just to propose a hypothetical. If you never saw us, how would you even know? But if you didn't,
we didn't.
How would you know?
It's not hypothetical.
But I did see you.
Are you having fun in this moment right now?
I'm just
Because
trying
this seems
to
like a
understand.
memory you can definitely get rid of. And we can just go back.
You're
up
saying
there.
that because we've already entered the land, we must pay the toll, but how many people have gone through here that you don't know about and haven't?
Oh, we make sure to toll anyone that we see that is new. We've told many people before.
So if you don't see them, you
Alright.
can't toll them.
I'll just
Correct.
give you a bad memory if that's what you want. I was interested in the device.
It is a very strange device.
I'm also interested in your desire to want to keep this interaction. But hey, rock and roll.
So are you going to give up the memories, or do we have a problem? And I'm still not forgetting you spit in my face.
I know that is your choice. That is something that you like to keep, and that's just totally cool. Totally fine. I just thought I'd help you out.
So what's the plan?
I'm alright with giving up a memory if you guys are. I can't put a price tag on your guys' memories, so I have countless I can give up.
I mean, I did just fall from a pretty high height. That was not very fun.
I'll give up a little something.
Sentinel?
I don't think I want to.
How
I'm gonna whisper to
Mr.
Sentinel and be like,
Rabbit.
Sentinel, I was gonna tell him about the time I accidentally shit my pants. And see if that was gonna work.
Can I double dip in lieu of my friend here?
No, you must all give one. Agdon wants one from all who trespass in his lands. It is
Sentinel,
important.
Agdog
Sen-
doesn't need to know.
Sentinel, just shit your
Oh,
pants.
Agdon will know. Agdon knows much. So will our liege. She will know as well.
Okay.
I tried, Sentinel.
Joel
Well,
comes
if
up to you,
Sentinel's
Sentinel.
not doing it, I'm not gonna do it.
Does Joel have
Oh.
anything
Looks
he
like
wants
we're
to give
here
up
at
to?
Yeah,
the
Joel
impasse.
goes
forgot
up to
Joel's
Sentinel
here.
and he's like, hey man, I got like, I don't know about like all you guys and like what shit you've all been through, but I've got some stinkers that I can toss in that urn. Like, I mean, it's a lot of bunny rabbits. So, I mean,
Yes.
they're bunny rabbits, but that one's got a club. Like, I don't.
They're 5 foot
You ever been
tall.
kicked by a bunny
Yeah, are
rabbit
they-
before? It hurts.
Are they humanoid? Like they're
Yeah, they're
like
they're
tall?
humanoid
they're
rabbits.
Bugs
Oh,
Bunny.
they're like Bugs Bunny.
Yeah, they're,
Yeah.
they're
Okay.
5 foot
Five
tall
feet
Bugs
tall.
Bunnies.
Yeah, think of
They're
Bugs
not
Bunny,
just
basically.
bunnies standing on 2 feet.
No, they
Yeah,
are
no,
5 foot
they are like
tall.
5 feet tall, and that's 5
I mean,
feet
they're
to their
still
head, not
small to
counting their
you.
ears.
Yeah, they're like half your
Yeah.
size.
Yeah.
You power over these bunnies. They are like
Sentinel,
dark.
if it makes you feel any better, I could spit on you right now, and then you could get rid of that, and you won't even remember I did it, and then you should be fine, unless you want to keep the memory of being spit on by a stranger. But again, that's just
I feel like you guys aren't
splitting
strangers
hairs.
at this point.
Yeah, I feel like by that point you're not strangers. Been around each other a little too much.
Like over a year.
Nobody caught that. That's a should have. This is why
Seems like
Jeremy
we're,
doesn't get
we're it
kicked.
seems like we're in an impasse here, friend.
Hmm.
My friend here doesn't want to give up one of his memories, and quite frankly, I'm not gonna make him. So
Well, if that's the case, then we're gonna have to bunny up a little bit.
And we've
I don't
taken
know.
on.
Funny up.
I'm not sure I can really bunny up. I can goat up, but I'm not sure I can bunny. Is there any sort of a payment? I'm not sure if our money works well here. I'm not sure
Well,
how.
what do you have on you?
Quite a lot, actually. Let me see. Let me
I mean,
consult the old
I
bag.
definitely
of
want it to
holding.
be a pixie
I-
for a day.
I have a singular thing of pixie potion.
Mm.
It's a lie, I have
Ooh,
8.
You ever want to be a pixie for a day?
pass.
No, you don't want to be a pixie? Alright, well.
You wouldn't happen to have any good memories from children, do you? That is also one that Agdon usually
From-
takes in
I
stores.
don't think memories are gonna be on
Here.
the table here.
All right, I got a deal for you.
Children? What?
You know,
Why would we even have those?
you
I don't
have.
even know where you would carry a child memory.
Yeah, like what?
We carry memories in these urns. You don't have memory carrying urns where you come from.
No.
Maybe.
this is the first time
I've
hearing
never
about
seen
it.
one though.
You come from
Yeah.
incredibly
Point to his head.
barbaric lands, then. What do you have for me, giant chicken?
I have, and I pull out this dusty book out of my little satchel, and from our land, there, you guys, you say he's a roguish, bandit guy. We have one of our own that we have taken down, but here is his memoir of a man named Sliva, who he had handed this to me, and it has very many memories of this man's life. As like, you can take this and as his appeasement, and have not just 5 memories, but a whole man's life of memories.
Let me see the book.
I hand it over.
So Jebic takes the book and begins flipping through it. These are written down memories. These will not go into the urn.
You could store it inside. You could just throw it in there.
You could just open the urn.
It's a physical object.
I mean, if you read
keep
it,
it
they
inside.
become your memories, and then you can put those memories in there.
This Sliva person...
I think it'd be the memories of him reading it, not the memories of what actually happened.
But the book works as the same way the urn works. It holds memories.
He just immediately tosses it into the swamp, and you just hear the book go splat, and it begins to kind of sink.
Oh no, the divvies!
Now you've refused. Now you've refused an offering.
You've jimmied the swamp.
Yes, you've just jimmied the swamp. Now you have to pay a memory. You have littered on Egdon's swamp. How dare you?
Yo, dude, I have a great memory for you to get rid of.
Do not tell me what I am doing and what I am not. That's it. You're not fucking kill me, guys. Well, not kill him, but...
I was like, I'm gonna put my hands up. I'm like, whoa. We don't have to kill anybody. Hold on.
I'm just putting it. You threw things on his swamp.
Like, no one needs to die over a book being thrown on the ground that it was all your fault. Let's have a conversation. We have no intent. How about this? Sentinel, you don't want to give up a memory, correct?
Correct.
He doesn't have many memories to give in the first place. I'm almost positive he's like 7 years old. So, how about you just take us to whomever is in charge, and we plead our case to that person? Because you obviously don't have the authority to change the rules, but maybe you'd have they would. And if you take it to them, and they want us to give a memory anyway, you'll just have even better chance of beating it out of us. Or there's a chance that we could just go about amicably, and this first time of us meeting will just be a happy memory, sans the part where you kept a stranger sitting in your face forever and all eternity. But that's neither here nor there.
No.
Can't argue with that logic, Jamie.
Yeah, I guess I don't know.
The toll is absolute. Sir Longscarf has set the toll. This toll has been here for many centuries, and it will not change for the likes of
this is how I
Dr. Watts.
This is the first person who's acknowledged my title, and they're a giant rabbit. And
I shows you how important you are. Put things into perspective there, Jamie. Put things into perspective.
This rat. I've been the meanest to this random rabbit that I think I've been to most people, and he is still treating me with a semblance of respect. It makes me have less respect for the people that we have back in our own reality. So, no, maybe you give him a memory. Like, I honestly like this. No.
Joel kind of pipes up.
He's still not
like,
gonna.
I'll start if anyone wants me to.
Nope. This is on principle. If Sentinel doesn't want to give up a memory, Sentinel being, I'm gonna look at the rest of the party, the purest of us. There's no sense in us, the rest of us, giving something up.
Probably wouldn't even have a negative memory.
I probably have more negative memories than I do positive memories, but I don't want to lose them. That's the thing. Is I need to remember them. They've made me who I am.
If we give up a memory, do we lose the skills that associated with that memory?
Depends on the memory. You would still keep the skills, but you'd have no idea where you procured them from. So say you were a master swordsman. And the one event in your life that made it all click to you was being defeated in the most humiliating way by your master. You would forget that. You would still possess the abilities of a master swordsman, but you would have no way of knowing how they came about.
No,
but you'd always long and wonder why you are the way that you are.
No, I deserve to remember what I've done.
Well,
I'm staying with you, Sentinel.
If that is the case, then, boys, I think it's time we bunny him up a little bit. Let him know that those who trespass.
I really don't want to be bunnied.
I don't know.
Long,
That fall took a lot out of me. But we'll see what we can do.
Real quick, Jebik, I know you've decided on this course of action, and there's not much we could do to stop you other than giving up something that we have decided that is irreplaceable to us. I would just be remiss if I did not tell you, as a doctor, that every single person, from giant boss to evil thing, has died when they have stepped to these 4 people next to me, have been brutally murdered, and I don't want that to happen to you. So this is pretty much the moment, the defining moment in your life, whether it be much longer than this moment or for the next minute or so. If you make this decision to press this fight, you will die, and I will not be able to help you. Are you sure?
There is 21 of us to the 6 of you, and I'm not gonna lie, the scrawny kid over there kind of doesn't look like he could hold a candlestick. So, I mean, it's 5 of you versus 21 of us. So,
we fought
I think
more.
we'll take our odds.
Oh my God.
All right,
Everyone
give me a initiative roll.
I love that argument, Jamie.
They are very determined.
No, that's true though.
Man.
That is that is a thing that has
I
happened.
did the thing. I was like, yo, everybody dies.
Oh wow. Okay, I'm flipping a coin tonight.
I'm more babysitting you guys than I am. I'm protecting these people from you. Less than
Oh my god. Let me enter my thing.
All right. What's wrong?
I am flipping a coin tonight, apparently. Sheesh. Nat 1 the athletics, Nat 20,
Nat 20
the initiative.
Way to go, Brendan.
I only rolled a 16 and I got a 23. I love roguish audacity,
That's
man.
Yeah,
I got a +7 initiative because it adds my charisma to my initiative.
I can add my charisma, my +5 charisma. Pretty great.
That's pretty cool.
Oh boy.
So you will notice on the map here, the ones marked with pink have slings, the ones not marked have clubs, and then the blue one is Jebik.
Okay.
Jebik!
I kind of figured.
A lot of bunnies to enter initiative here. Give me 1 second.
Don't worry,
A
she's
lot of-
good.
A lot of boingy boys.
Yeah, a lot
But
of
the bunny
hoppy
brigade
boys.
is quite springy, if you know
They're
what
quite
I mean.
hostile.
They're very
Yeah.
helpful.
They're like memory or die.
In fairness, I did spit in that guy's face.
Yes.
However,
He
You
chose
gave him the
to
choice to
remember.
forget it.
keep that.
Yeah.
He wants to keep it.
I really
So
hope
it's
you're
not even
arguing
like something-
in character.
Well, he didn't say these guys are super hostile in character. I'm talking as a person observing. I'm like, yo, if you had a foolproof way of removing someone spitting in your face and you choose to keep it, then you can't be offended by getting spit on the face. You wanted that.
We'll say the emotions of being spit on my face probably override my logical thinking
That's
of
true.
wanting to go through.
Yeah, of wanting to open the urn and go, this man spit on my face, and no longer remembering that you spit on his face.
Just the
I mean,
inconvenience
you
of
would get
having to
so-
walk over to the urn wouldn't be worth it to me.
It's like, wow, I could just
You're like,
not deal
that's-
with this.
Then you're just being petty at that point. Now you're just willing to die for your ego, and
Yeah.
that's on you. I don't even feel bad.
Oh wow.
You know what? If I had 20 of my buddies and a giant snail at my back, I'm not sure I'd be too worried.
Yeah, I know. I was
about
like,
it
I'm like,
either.
hey, dude,
20 of
you're
my best
feeling real
friends.
confident. You're
I don't
feeling
even
real
got 20
confident.
best friends.
Yeah. You're feeling real
Right.
confident right now.
Darby, you actually rolled higher than everyone else. You may
Yeah.
go ahead and start us off.
I get to start.
Holy shit, these rabbits rolled really well.
Yes, they rolled very,
my
very
Some
well.
of them did. Yeah.
Well,
You got a lot of good rabbits.
Wow.
Darby is not looking great. Thanks to falling off a 100-foot ladder. So, ooh, I can make something else. Oh, okay. I forgot I gained an extra target. So Darby will take off his hat, and he will pull out from inside of it a large silver cloth. And he will start waving it around himself and throw it in the air, and he will become invisible, and so will Arthur. Because I can hit 2 people with invisibility.
Oh, let's
Okay.
go!
And I have to be within touch range, and I am within touch range of Arthur. So I will grab Arthur and then start twirling it around us, and then we will both become invisible. And then
All right.
I will move 15. Ooh, I will move to there. I'll move 30 feet and go around the pond.
All right.
I like the picture that your feet are still dragging in this knee-high muck, and they can perfectly see.
Yes, I should mention, the terrain is difficult terrain in here.
Then I
Okay.
will go back 15 feet.
That probably is a good thing to note for this battle.
Yes. I will stand there instead, which is 15 feet. Which is all I can move. And that, I believe, will be it, because I used a spell slot, and I don't have any bonus action cantrips, so...
Arthur.
Alright, so I am currently no longer visible. I am going to go 5, 10, 15. Stand in front of my bunny friend here, and I am going to invoke. Let's get a good die here. Alright, I'm going to invoke Booming Blade.
Okay.
I'm going to run my hand across the front of one of my scimitars, and it's going to get this black, the part of the water from the muck beneath my feet is going to kind of start to crawl up the blade and kind of start to swirl around it in this magical way. And then I'm going to swing my scimitar at this guy, which should give me advantage because I'm invisible.
You will have advantage, but it will instantly end your invisibility.
Yep,
Yes.
that's fine. That is a 19 to hit with the
A
scimitar.
19 will hit.
And I had advantage, so I get
Sneak attack.
sneak attack. Let me find my correct dice, please.
Fortunately, this is normal invisibility and not greater invisibility, so you cannot
No
maintain
worries.
it while doing actions, like attack.
6 and then sneak attack
But
is 3.
also, greater invisibility I can only hit myself with. 'Cause I do
This is
not
our
have spell
first
slots
encounter
for
of you guys being 5th level as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ED.
first time some of
Against
us get
Bloody Brigade.
multi-attack.
I mean, they seem tough,
12.
so...
I mean, I technically have multi-attack now too,
16.
because my cards are
20.
2 targets now.
25 damage with my first scimitar, and he has booming blade on him.
And he immediately
He does not
gets
have
cut
booming
down and
blade on him.
dies.
He is dead.
So I
He immediately
slice
gets
into
cut
him, and
down.
the water kind of dives into the wounds that I caused and rip through his body.
Yep. And it kind of just this flash of murky water blasts out the back of him, and it just falls over dead and sinks into the murky depth, as if the bog is devouring it.
And then I will step. That was 5, 10. So I went 5, 10,
He
15.
went 30 feet total.
So I'm going
because
to
it's all difficult
dash
terrain.
5, 10, 15, and stand by Joel.
Okay. Anything else for you, Arthur?
That's going to be my whole turn, actually.
Here comes a
All
fuck
right.
ton
So
of
the
rabbits.
first sniper is gonna go.
Almost the bunny. But how far back
He's
is
gonna
it?
go
Way up there. Wow.
5, 10, 15, and he is going to fire his weapon at Sentinel.
Sentinel, no.
That is a natural 1. He will miss.
Yeah.
Just
Oh,
launches it and
yeah.
just goes flying. Next one will go. We have another sniper, or I'm sorry, not a sniper, a regular brigade member. We'll go 5, 10, and you're gonna take a whack at you,
You stupid.
Darian.
Technically, that would be 10, 20.
Yes.
Because
10, 20. Yes. I'm counting it like 15 half,
Okay,
but yes.
okay.
Yeah, that's,
no
that's
worries.
how
You're
I
good.
count it too.
You're good. That's how I
That is,
do.
that is 15 to hit you, Darian.
That does not hit.
All right, the next one will go.
Parry.
And he is going to attack Sentinel again with it's this one right here.
Yep.
That is a 10, so that will definitely miss. But now good old Jebek's gonna go, and is gonna go 10, 20, and take a whack at Jamie for spitting at him. That is a 17.
You are currently muted, Jamie. Through Discord, specifically.
No, I'm hit.
Joking.
Yeah,
There
that's
you go.
That's a hit. All right. So he
Yeah.
winds up his club, and he takes a whack out of you there, and he is going to do not a ton of damage, but that
Yeah,
is
clubs are
a
not very
total
strong.
of 6 bludgeoning damage to you, Jamie.
Okay, 6 plus.
But you're next.
Okay, yeah. We had kind of people in the bunny brigade. Snoop's cool. I am going to. What's my move? Actually, I know what I'm gonna do. You're gonna see Jamie. I love this. So Jamie's gonna be like, "All right, dude, you asked for this," and I'm going to pull on these 2 little strings on my coat. I pull them up really fast, and you hear a little ka-chink and a whirring sound as 8 wheels come from my shins down to my feet, and you hear a little whirring sound as I cast Long Strider, giving myself 10 extra feet of movement.
All right.
And then I'm gonna bonus action disengage, and I'm gonna go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 35, 50.
So,
With the difficult terrain?
I have mobile feet. I ignore.
oh, that's right. Yeah,
You will ignore it.
I forgot
Dude.
about mobile. I
Anything
forgot it
else?
does that. I always forget it does that.
So,
It's so
so
good.
you see me just like it's like air
Just clicking.
gear over to the other side.
That's
And
dope.
be like, Shepik, please, buddy, I don't want to have to do this.
Anything else for you?
You can
Dr.
stop
Watts?
this. That's all I say.
Jamie went off
All
screen.
right.
He's
This
down
one's
there.
gonna go next.
He's
He is
zoomed.
another sniper. He is going to take a shot at Joel. He
Oh,
will hit
really?
Joel.
Can he even reach Joel from there?
320 feet.
Dang, Sling's got a lot more range than I thought.
Actually, I should say these guys in the pink have crossbows, not slings. The regular guys have slings. So he is going to do 5 damage
Kind
to
of
Joel,
crossbow.
and that will be his turn. This one up
Oh my
here
God.
is going to shoot at Arthur. That is a 10. That is going to miss.
Yep. I parry. I block the bolt out of the air.
Cuts the bolt with his sword.
Scimitar, baby.
So this guy is going to go 10, 20, 30. And then it is going to make a jump with its special and jump 10 more feet. And he will use a sling against Sentinel. That is a 12. That'll miss.
Oh no. People are looking at
All right.
ranges.
So 10, 20, 30. Take his jump. He's going to do a sling at you, Darian. That is a 19.
That'll hit.
No, not Darian.
Oh no, here comes the
Wow.
big
4
dance.
damage. 4 bludgeoning damage to you, Darian.
Owie! Wait, my HP is so much lower in. Oh, I didn't update roll 20.
I don't either. I just did that myself.
Yep, update roll 20 real quick. If you
Oh
have
yeah,
it.
my max HP is lower too.
I updated yours, Jamie, too, just so you know, because I
Yes,
saw that
I
yours
need
was...
I need to update
cool.
my max
Yeah, thank
HP on here too. Mine is not correct.
Alright. So this one's going to go, he's going to go 10, 20, 30, and he's going to take a whack at Sentinel. That
Okay.
is 18 Sentinel.
That hits.
You take 3 points of bludgeoning damage.
Unfortunately, you're not enraged yet.
This one's going to go 10, 20, 30, takes his jump. He's going to swing at Arthur.
Yep.
19, Arthur.
That hits.
Oops.
6 damage, bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
This one will
Nice.
go here. Take a swing
Oh.
at Darian.
Ow.
Darian's struggling.
13 Darian.
That'll miss.
All right, and then the giant snail is just gonna sit there.
He's just vibing.
Go 5, 10. He will take a shot at Sentinel. 20 non-natural Sentinel
That hits.
for 4 damage to you from this guy.
Someone is struggling.
This one's going to shoot at.
My token's
Darian?
gone. Can you bring my token back when you get a second, Ethan?
Oh, sure.
You actually might be able to bring it in yourself. Through the journal.
I got it.
Yoink.
That is
That's
Darby.
the wrong guy.
2
Right.
Darbies.
Thank you.
I just grabbed the guy
Darby
with the
has
hat.
duplicate on himself. Now there are two
That
of
is a
him.
14 on,
Simulacrum.
14 on you, Darian.
That'll miss.
All right. And then this guy up here is going to go here and take a shot at Darby.
I am invisible.
You are invisible. He will take a shot at Arthur then and miss with a 12.
Parry again.
All right, Joel's
Howdy.
going to go.
Badass.
And Joel is going to pull out a dagger that he has. And he's going to
Ooh,
attack
Joel.
Oh, that is
the bunny
concentration.
boy. Damn, Joel. Natural 20.
Ooh,
Dang.
Joel's ready to go.
I don't have a second D4, huh?
They don't come up very often in fairness.
Wow. Joel does 10 damage to it,
Damn.
and it dies as he stabs the
Oh,
thing
wow.
in the throat and cuts
Wow.
its throat out.
Dang,
And
Joel.
Yeah.
Oh.
He kind of just is looking down at it as this rabbit falls at his feet dead, and he's just like,
Keep it up, Joel.
Darian.
I will not
Alright.
say anything because
Oh, I would have. Oh
like
man,
his ability to.
I would have
I
shouted
know-
at Joel not to do it.
I know we're in the other filled with Fey energy, but what's my? Are we getting strong Fey energy vibes from these rabbits?
Yeah, literally, this whole area is like a buffet of Fey energy right now.
All right. Between the irritating conversation that ensued before this and getting hit a couple times, Darian's going to cast his Hunter's Mark on this guy right here,
Okay?
and I'm going for a Fanged Bite
Damn.
Ooh.
for
Go
a. Okay, it says I'm proficient. What does that mean I add to it?
That means you add your proficiency.
Oh,
Oh,
bonus.
proficiency
proficiency?
bonus.
Proficiency plus what? Okay, then it says use
It's
that.
probably gonna
So
be
it
your
should just
strength.
be in your actions. It should just tell you what your plus is.
Yeah.
automatically
Where the heck
for your
is pro-
attack?
It's not. It's not in my attack. Oh, it is in my attacks now.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Should be
fine. Okay,
actions. Yep.
Yeah, it should be in your action.
23 to hit.
Oh.
That definitely hits him, no issues.
Oh god, he's about to eat some rabbit tonight. Oh no.
All right.
goodness.
All right, we got max damage, guys. This is
Rabbit
good.
season. Rabbit
It's only-
season.
It's only 6 damage,
Oh yeah, because
Okay,
it's,
it does.
it's like a D4
but-
armor or something basically.
but I'm gonna take the plus 6 to my next roll on it with my great sword after biting it in the neck.
You get a +6 for biting it.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
I get
so
whatever
crazy.
their piercing damage was added to my
Next
next
roll.
roll.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
It's so
You attack
cool.
now because of
Yeah, we have multi-attack.
Do
next
we
to
see?
something.
Do we literally see Darian just like
yeah,
bite its
I'll
throat?
describe it in just a second here, but
All right, I got a 25 to hit with my
that
great
hits
sword.
no problem.
Wait, I forgot I Hunter's marked them, so I had
Yeah.
a D6 of damage on that bite. Let's see if I just one out or go out outright kill him with the bite. No, I only got a 1. Okay.
All right.
So then
that's
the
not enough to kill
great
him.
sword damage is going to be
So much.
obey 11, 12, 13 plus 17 damage.
Okay.
Yeah, it's super dead as you. So you guys, as you're fighting, you just look over and you've seen Darian. He's gotten shot maybe once, twice. He's fended off some attacks with this greatsword, and this rabbit is just next to him, and it goes to swing with his club, and you just see Darian just jump upon him like he's an animal, like ready to feast, and just huge fangs extended down from his mouth. He bites into the neck of the rabbit. You just watch him rip up. Blood and viscera explodes out from the rabbit's neck, and then while he holds his sword at his side, he just impales it right through the gut, still clutching it, still chewing on its flesh as he ends it, and as he guts the rabbit by pushing his sword down and pulls it out, he pushes it down as you watch as the rabbit hits the murk and descends down into the deep.
I'm just gonna like jaw-droppingly staring at Darian. I'm just going to slowly turn to Dr. Jamie and just look at Dr. Jamie's reaction to just what happened.
You cannot see it.
You can just see
but
me-
Darby's mouth is wide open and his eyes are just like, But you can't see
Darien, your
him.
mouth
He's
is covered in blood.
Yeah.
But how's
Tastes
the
There's just a
great.
look of
how's the
genuine
hunger now,
concern.
Ethan? Was that
It's
an appetizer
satiated
or am I
for a little
good?
bit.
Okay.
It's been satiated, but maybe not completely. Essentially, what you've just experienced is you've gone out to a 5-star restaurant and you've ordered their $250 steak, which is the greatest meal you've ever eaten, and that's just what you ate by biting that rabbit's neck out.
What it?
Anything else for you?
I think that was action bonus actions. Unless you
No,
lose.
that'll be it.
Sentinel, you are surrounded, my good
Unless
friend.
you surprisingly
Yes, I
multi-class into
am.
fighter and have action surge.
No.
That would be crazy. Fight like multiple.
Let's rage.
That'd be cool. Well, yeah, here it comes.
All right, Sentinel is raging.
All right.
Man, if there was ever a time for the tendrils, now is the time.
Yeah, I know. Well,
Though there are some other really good options here.
yeah.
Mhm.
There's still one I'm
Okay.
waiting
So, so the sapphire gems kind of detach from my feathers and then start spinning in a circle in front of my chest. And then out of my chest is a lightning bolt that strikes at the bunny in front of me and making Constitution saving throw.
And
for.
That fails.
all right,
And we'll take 6 lightning damage and is
Alright.
blinded.
Oh wow! Forgot I did
all right.
that.
So you just blast this guy. These gems come off your chest, Sentinel. They just blast this rabbit with lightning. It's like my eyes, as it covers its eyes
The
in
voice.
pain.
I love that they
And,
all have the same voice. That's perfect.
And yeah,
My
he's not
eyes!
doing too
I
hot.
can't see anything without my eyes.
Bald.
I can
Ball, ball.
see.
I
Can
can.
Not for
Alright,
long,
what
he
else
can't.
you said,
Not for
though?
long.
I'm going to fly 15 feet over here.
Okay.
Do I take an opportunity attack from this guy in front of
Yes.
Darien?
Technically, yes.
Depending
you
on the
will take
path he
one.
flies.
And the guy... what does blinded do?
At disadvantage,
He
I believe.
can't.
I can find out for you.
If he
Give me a
can't
second.
see you, he can't create an opportunity attack. Because opportunity attack requires line of sight. So if he's blinded, he wouldn't be able to. have an
Blinded.
attack.
Can't see and automatically
Can't
fails
see.
any ability check that requires sight. So attack rolls against the
Right,
creature
yep,
have an
he-
advantage, and
Yep.
creatures' attack rolls have disadvantage.
So technically, he will still get a disadvantage because it is an attack, but it's a disadvantage. So the first guy will go. He rolls
that real quick,
19.
19, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, that hits.
That'll do 5 damage to you,
Yeah,
Sentinel. Bludgeoning.
so you can make an opportunity attack when a hostile creature that you can see. He cannot see Sentinel, he cannot
That's
make
what
an
I was saying.
opportunity
He
attack.
can't make.
you have
he
to see
can't
the
make his
creature.
opportunity attack.
Interesting.
Okay, that's an interesting thing. But if that's how it's written as raw,
That is
then the
how it
other
is
guy
written in
won't.
the book.
Then that's I will allow it. So you just took 2 damage from that Sentinel from the half.
Just
or-
2? Okay.
And you may continue your move.
It would make sense for hidden, though. Like if you're crawling by somebody, they wouldn't be able to opportunity
True.
attack.
Yeah,
That
because you
is
can't
true.
see them, so you don't know they're there. That's kind of the idea. You don't know they're moving past you.
Makes
but you
sense.
can
That's a
see them
spirit. That's a
past you.
spirit of the rule. That makes sense. Okay.
And that's why you have blind fight added.
Yeah, who
as, like,
can
feat
do
people
that
get.
stuff because they can see
Is that
stuff.
it's like I can
Yeah.
just still attack you because I was good at it. That's why Jax was so cool.
Alright. So I'm going to move here, and can I try to mount this snail? I want to ride it like the...
Like the snail race thing?
I love
You can
the
attack it.
idea of Sentinel being 1,000 pounds and crushing
You
the
can a-
snail beneath his girth.
You guys rode snails
Yeah,
before.
he
so
did ride
Yeah.
the snail.
Sentinel
and those
is
were-
a- And because you rode snails before, you know what snails need to be done with to ride them. So give me an animal handling check.
Yes.
That's
Cannot believe
amazing.
this.
Guys, I feel like we
18
should look
plus
for dragonflies.
1, 19.
Oh, yeah.
Sentinel,
Just
through
keep
some
going.
act of God, the goddess, you have you jump over this rabbit and have mounted the snail. There's an urn in front of you too. There's this big urn in front of you.
Smash it! Smash it!
Ooh. Okay, so I'm gonna, because talking's a free action, right? So I'm gonna be on this thing, and I be like, Jebik, we have your vial of memories. There's no point in this fight. We don't need to. I mean, 3 people have died and barely a scratch on us. You really want to keep doing this?
Listen to
Oh.
the man, Jebik.
Oh,
Giving you an
shit,
out.
guys. This is why we don't bring the Urn of Memories with us unless we have a slightly more guarded force. Whose idea was it? One of the other rabbits is like, it was your idea, Jebik. It was not my idea. Fine. You win. Let's talk about this amicably if you leave the urn alone. Because I can guarantee you that, like, I'll be upset, but Eggdon Longscarf is going to be pissed. And,
Who's he gonna be pissed
so,
at,
like,
though?
that's all on
who's
you
gonna
guys.
be pissed at?
Well, he's gonna be pissed at everyone, which is why I'm saying, like, maybe we need to, like, calm down here and step away from the Urn of Memories that's incredibly valuable to our leader, so.
Oh, I'm glad that you're finally seeing reason after 3 of your people were killed.
I would talk quickly, though. Our feathered friend isn't the most ambidextrous with his paws there, his wings. He's quite clumsy.
I mean, he flew over some of my men, so I'm assuming.
He's quite clumsy!
It's
All
true.
right.
Jebik, you're really not in the position to start saying stuff right now.
Giant chicken.
Just
Yes.
What is it that you want that will prevent you from destroying the urn?
The snail.
You want the snail.
Yes.
That is how we carry the urns around, though, is with the giant snails.
You've got enough of you.
Looks like you're gonna figure out a new solution.
There's enough of you. You can walk in.
Oh
So
my god.
literally how I'm understanding this negotiation right now is I will give you the snail, you will not destroy the urn, but you will provide memories to the urn so the toll is paid.
No.
Oh no,
No.
that's still not happening, bro.
Ah,
That was never happening.
damn it.
We killed 3 of your people over that. Do you think we just changed our minds now that we have the?
You know, a rabbit's gotta try, guys. Like, it's been a bad day, okay? And, like, the 3 guys you
Yeah.
killed, I didn't even like those guys. I'm glad they're dead. They were a waste of human energy anyways. But,
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
I hate to see a good urn of memories go to waste, and, when that thing gets cracked, and the memories return to their owners, and it causes horrible, debilitating pain that can last for days as the memory attempts to reinsert itself back into the person's subconscious, and then, all of a sudden this truth is revealed back to them, and it can cause people's brains to become scrambled. So, I don't really want to experience that. I've seen it happen twice, and someone's ears, like, started to bleed. It was very unpleasant. So, deal.
All right. And I'll toss the urn to the bunny next to.
You pick up
Next to
this
the snail.
giant urn and you throw it to this rabbit, and it goes to catch it, and immediately just gets, like, crushed, and it's currently under the water. It takes 8 points of bludgeoning damage, which is one away from killing it.
Okay, well then, if we're now like on, like, we're cool, I'm gonna run over. I will skate over to this rabbit, and I will give it medical attention if it's going to die.
The injured one.
Yeah.
All right, so Jamie, you run over to the rabbit. All these other they're called Haragon. All these other Haragon run over, and they're, like, trying to lift this giant urn off of this guy and struggling. And you just see this rabbit, like Bugs Bunny, like pancake with his, like, arms and legs out, with, like, a round urn shape, like, flattened out a little bit, cartoon style. It's very odd. You've never seen anything like it, Jamie.
Yeah, I'm looking at it like, I am your makeup, I can't use the word biology, that's probably not a real thing. Your makeup, the way your body is functioning is very confusing to me. Are you okay?
Oh.
There we go.
Okay. I will make a medicine check. So I can discern if I can help him in any.
Go ahead, give me a medicine check.
Well, that is a 15.
I mean, it's a humanoid-looking rabbit thing. You've seen the inside of animals before, Jamie, and they've never been. I mean, they've been different, but you've been able to do stuff before, so probably.
Yeah. I will just kind of be like, let me help you a little bit, and I will use one of my healing things to like help him out.
All right, go ahead and give me a roll for that. To whatever the HP increases.
I will just do this quicker on my phone. So that is wow, that's great. So it is it is 10 just off the bat, and I don't know how many hit dice
He's back to full
or
health.
it has. Okay,
He's
so
back
I
to
will
full health.
patch him up back into being full health again, and then I'm gonna
Being
be
a
like,
three-dimensional character again.
Yeah, so as you go to
Yep.
as you touch him, Jamie, immediately his body just inflates back up. It's like poop, and then you're able to do all your medicine stuff
Yes.
on him.
cool. Yep, and I will do that, and I'll be like, you should be fine. Granted, I don't really know how your body works, but if it's anything like a regular rabbit, I take it easy.
I plan on it. Thank you very much. Jebik, this
Yeah,
guy's
you're welcome.
cool in my book. And Jebik's just like, I'm gonna be 100% honest here. I'm gonna say these guys aren't cool in my book, but they have our urns, so I guess they're cool in my book too. Just remember, you've procured the wrath of Agdon Longscarf and the Bunny Brigade specifically, so watch your backs.
I mean, there's a real easy way for us to not incur the wrath of the Bunny Brigade and this guy. It is for you to walk 30 paces away from us and then dump your memory of all of this from happening. And then he won't even remember that was a thing until later when he eats it.
All right. Come, men. Leave
Thanks
the
for the-
snail. We
thanks
need
for the snail.
yep. Enjoy him. His name's Slime Bucket. He's very slimy. He kind of just gets on everything, so have fun with it. And the
What do
Bunny
you want us to
Brigade.
do with your comrades? Hold on. Are you gonna bury them? Or are you gonna take them back to their family?
They're the bogs now. Let good old Hither feast upon them.
Well, I think
This
Darian
bog is
probably
carnivorous, as you're
enjoy
saying.
that rather than Hither. But
He does
Just
not reply
eats-
to that as they leave.
Yeah.
Or he will drop his invisibility.
That's
and
some
be visible again.
That's some information.
Well,
So, while all this is going on, how quickly
Sorry,
do
Jamie.
these
What did
things
you
get...
say to him that he didn't reply?
He
I
asked
just
if
said
it
so. The bog is carnivorous. It eats meat. Like the ground is gonna eat him. So it's that's good to know for us
Yeah, for sure.
who are currently standing on this book.
So, while this whole thing's going on, how fast do these bodies sink into the bog, Ethan?
They go pretty quick. As they hit the bog, you kind of just immediately see them sink down, and almost as if they're being swallowed.
Is there any chance I could stop one of the bodies from getting swallowed?
You would have had to have done that a while ago.
Okay, never mind.
You can reach down and see if they're there.
It doesn't seem as appetizing.
Yeah, I was gonna say if Darian is gonna start rummaging for bodies to devour, I'm gonna kind of step over to him and be like, "Hey,
Yeah.
bro, you might wanna." I am gonna walk over to Darian anyways and go, "You got some
yeah.
stuff."
There's a
Haven't-
tuft of fur on your chin, in your scruff.
Having
Not
a
seen
A
not seen that
mid-combat
before.
snack, are we, Darian?
Told you I was hungry.
Yeah,
I mean,
but when
I know they're rabbits, but they're also humanoid. It's a very
You guys have killed
odd
so many
predicament.
people.
We didn't eat them though.
I'm not gonna judge because I'm sure I've done worse. I just interesting is all. As a demon folk, I've been accused of many things in my life, and eating people was one of them. I've not done that before. Consider me impressed.
There in that conversation, I was going.
You are going in and
Yeah,
out.
you
and
are.
out
Yeah, you're
of
cutting out.
story.
in and out.
Oh no.
You're good now.
Yeah,
You're good
Better?
now.
We're
Yeah.
Yep, good now.
Yeah, we're good.
okay. Yeah, I was gonna go over to Joel while they were having that conversation because I know he's just killed something for the first time,
Yep.
Yeah.
and I will. How is he doing visibly?
Right now, Joel appears to be shaking. He's kind of trying to say something. His hand was up, it's shaking, and he just, as you kind of come over and you ask him, Jamie, he just goes, "We just got attacked by giant rabbits. I stabbed one of them in the throat,
Yes.
You did.
and fucking Rudolph over there ate one of them."
Yes.
It was a
That is
bite.
also true.
I mean,
I don't know what Rudolph
looks a little
is,
bit more
but
like a bite.
yeah,
But Rudolph is.
He did.
Yeah. Well,
both
That's-
of
What
those
the
things have happened.
I don't know
What's
what
going
that
on?
is in reference to. But yeah.
Well,
Well,
Joel, you murdered something, and like I said before,
I mean, it was kind of self-defense. I'd
yeah,
argue.
yeah, and that's I was like what I said before. It's not something you can undo, but you can rest in the fact that if you didn't do what you did, he probably would have killed you. So,
or at least try to.
or at least
Well,
tried to.
considering I got bashed with a club, I think they were trying to kill me.
I have also been bashed by a similar club, so I understand your feeling about that.
It's all good though. It's all good. We are going to trek to the palace, talk to some hags, save Marilli, and go the fuck home.
No, we have the map piece as well to get here. But
Oh, and get a
We
map
will-
piece. The most important reason.
Some
why
of
we're
those
here.
things will most likely happen. Correct. Just
Yeah.
as long as you got your head on straight. I'm gonna go back to not caring about you. Okay.
Yeah, I actually think I prefer it. Thank you.
While this conversation is happening, I'm going to kind of pull Darian off to the side so we can kind of have a quick, brief one-on-one.
All right.
Yes.
So, whatever the hell that was, you have it under control.
Ethan, you said it was delicious, so I'm probably feeling great now with satiated
Yeah.
hunger.
Amazing. It was the best thing you've ever eaten in your life.
Arthur, I'd argue I feel way better now than I have in the past since I died.
Wasn't asking how you felt. I asked you if you had it under control.
Yes. I've been hungry for a while.
Again, you don't have to bullshit me. If you don't, let me know. I'm probably the only one here that won't panic. But what we just saw without being prepped, there's probably maybe 2 of our group that'd be able to handle what you're going through. Like realistically, won't just leave you.
I just bit a rabbit. Sentinel attacks with his mouth.
I understand.
it is so different.
So what you did may look and appear similar on the outside as a way to maim and or injure. What I saw is something that I've recognized in myself before. There's a difference, Darian. You enjoyed what you did. Sentinel give me a second. Sentinel never kills and maims for enjoyment. He does it because he cares about us and he's defending us. What you did was because you wanted to taste what that rabbit
Well,
tasted.
yeah, but I waited to do it in defense.
I'd
argue that's pretty in control, Arthur.
Okay, I'm just saying. You can come to me if you're not. This is me. This is me reaching out to you. There's not too many people in our group who'd take what you did very lightly, especially when you were telling Darby how delicious he looked days ago. So just be mindful. All right.
Days ago, that was like earlier
Keep
today.
Keep it under wraps.
Earlier today.
It feels like
Yeah,
days
so-
ago.
Yeah, well, it's because for us,
You're
it
not
was
in
like 2
this
weeks ago.
conversation. You're not in this conversation.
I'm just making sure
Just-
you know that like that's the same day.
If you don't got a lid on it, let me know.
Will do, Arthur. I appreciate you.
All right. I'll walk away.
You ladies done over there?
Yes.
No. Never.
Okay, well, we have places to go, and I don't want to stick around for those
I'll
guys to try
go
to
over
come back
to
and get their snail.
Sentinel. Go over to Sentinel and be like, "So you got yourself a giant snail."
We got a ride
How's
through this
how's
bog.
this snail doing with Sentinel on its back, Ethan?
The other snail supported him during the race as well, so it's hanging in there.
Okay, great.
It moved
Awesome.
very slowly, but it hung in there.
All right. Will this snail support all of
after.
us?
No, it will support one of you.
Okay.
Okay, well,
Sentinel's earned it.
I will.
you're the one who got it, Sentinel. You can keep it.
Well, I don't want to ride it. This is for us. I can fly and keep myself out of the bog a little bit. Dr. Watts, he seems to move through the bog pretty easily. I was just figuring, for some of us that may have had a hard time,
Weird jacket enhancements.
we got a ride.
I don't even know what's going on with that either. Like you just
I
did a
have
thing, and
decided
then all of
to
a
ask
sudden you
my
just floated
questions on
across the
things I'll
bog.
get answers on.
I
Dr. Jamie's not one who's going to provide many answers, so.
I would 100% walk you through what I did. If you are actually asking, if Darby is actually asking Dr. Watts, that's a different thing.
it's not like a
let me know.
genuine. It's more like I've never seen this and don't know what just happened kind of question.
He's
I mean,
rollerblading.
if you're making mention of that out loud, I will give you an example. Otherwise, I will just continue on.
I mean, you can do it. You can respond to that however you see fit.
Okay, so I'm gonna be like, as you say that, I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm calling them, feet rollers. They're like wagon wheels. You know how wagon wheels turn, right?
Yes.
And how. So I figured if you got wheels small enough and dense enough, and you could somehow keep them spinning, you would be able to increase your speed by, I don't know, about like 10 feet per 6 seconds.
Right. So I'm bored. Darby, do you want to tell me where the balloon was?
Oddly
Okay,
specific metric
yeah,
to
no,
go
sure.
with, but and Darby will point to the direction he saw the balloon.
That is the math. The math is I can increase my speed by 10 feet
I know,
for every
I know.
roughly 6 seconds.
I know that, but for
Arthur
Darby,
don't
that is
care.
an oddly specific unit of
Arthur don't
metric.
care.
Yes. So, and then Sentinel,
Feels
as
arbitrary.
we hang out with your really cool giant snail, I do want to sort of like point this out because a lot of people in this group seem to be super cool with killing extra today. That you were willing to potentially die over not losing a bad memory, and just that
Yeah, I'm
seems like
I'm
lot.
a little stranged out by that one too. Like, fuck a bad memory. Why not get rid of it?
Bad memories
Can I-
make you who you
I
are.
can-
That's why I was
yeah.
gonna give him a memory of me taking a shit.
Yeah, I can answer that question. I
That
have,
was your. You were
a
going
particularly-
to die over that, Darian.
Yeah, like
Well, if
all.
it
I mean,
didn't
like
work,
Actually, if I want me to answer that question, I was going to die for Sentinel not to have to give up a memory.
That's
No,
I
that's
wasn't
no,
going to
fair.
give up my worst memory either. As the group has been known, I've done some terrible things. I wasn't going to give them any of that.
Oh, I was just going to tell them that I fell off
that's
that
who I
ladder
am,
and call it a
but-
day. That was really bad.
it's super great that everyone would like to speak, but I was talking to Sentinel.
That is true. Yes, I'm sorry.
I've never known Dr. Watts to never cut anybody off before.
It's true. That's also true. You know, I'm not
No,
sorry.
no, feel-
However,
no,
I will
please.
stop.
Keep going. Yeah, no, whatever you guys are done.
Yeah, Dr. Watts, I don't know. I going through that mine, I saw something that has kind of been haunting me for a while. You know that longing feeling that bunny thing was talking about? Like, I'm already going through it. There's just something that's missing that I don't know about me, and I don't enjoy it, and I don't want to have more of that. So, yeah.
That's a good enough reason for me, dude. I just wanted to make sure we understood what was going on. No memories and no jars. You've certainly done enough for me, so I have no problem with that being man.
Well, thank you for at least trying to end this amicably, even though they oddly seemed very, very persistent in wanting those memories. But if there's anything that we do well is we survive through a lot of stuff. So I trusted you guys.
Joel kind of just, as you're saying the Sentinel, he's just kind of shaking his head, and he starts making his way towards the tower. And you just hear him say, I don't get you guys. Like, fuck it. Why does anyone want to remember bad shit? He just starts making his way off through the bog.
Downtown.
Well, we could just leave him and let him off to his own devices and never have to deal with him again if we wanted to.
Unfortunately, for
Arthur's
me,
going to follow Joel.
Dr.
As
Watts
we
is
walk-
still
I'm
taking
not
him to
posing
the
this
carnival.
as a literal thing. It's a
Yeah,
joke. Calm down.
until I get him back to the carnival. Until I get him back to let him know that at least I took him to this carnival. This is a sort of a Joel is coming with us,
All right,
and we are
well,
coming back with Joel.
I like Joel.
I was more so making a
Also,
joke
you
than
guys
anything.
all chose to let him believe that Morelli is here, and
I mean, I don't think any of us are fully.
I mean, we
convinced
made it
one
quite
way or the
In my
apparent.
other.
experience, it's really not my choice what other people believe. Because if I could get people to believe what I want them to, people would be believing a lot differently. So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
every
will-
time you guys mention about your goddess in the sky, I have to let that go. So we're just gonna let him walk to whoever he thinks is in that castle, and we'll deal with that when we have to deal with that.
all right.
All right,
Well,
so you guys are
to
going
the tower.
to the tower. All right.
Off to see
So
the
you
tower.
guys
the balloon.
follow
Oh, the balloon's by the tower.
Joel to the tower where you believe this balloon has fallen. So you begin wading through the bog. As I said, it was knee deep. But as you are making your way through it, you begin to realize that the bog seems to be rising. Started knee deep and slowly made its way thigh deep and seems to have stopped about waist deep at this point, making it incredibly difficult to push your way through this thick, murky, disgusting swamp water as you are pushing through it as best as you can. Worse, you have absolutely no idea if the bog is going to keep increasing at all. You maybe walk for a mile. The fog and mists only lightening slightly right in front of you, but the rest seems to be thick and dense all around. And finally, with the tower still quite off in the distance, as you are walking, let's see here. Sentinel, you're walking with your snail friend, Slime Bucket. He's hanging out with you. You're good buddies now. And as you're walking, Sentinel, your claw strikes something hard in the bottom of the bog, and you stumble forward a little bit.
I try to like kick around the muck in the bog to kind of see what that was.
So you start kicking around a little bit, and you feel this large, almost like plank style thing, quite huge, kind of like sunk into the bottom of the bog.
I mean, I'm a little afraid to reach down into it after we've seen bodies just kind of get absorbed. But I'll tell the rest of the group. Hey, I don't know. It seems like there's some like big like planks of wood under here.
Like a tree fell?
I don't know. I can't really see what it is, but it like I don't know. It caught my foot. I mean, it could be nothing.
I'll saunter on
anyway,
over to where
Nice.
Sentinel is and kind of stomp my foot around to see if I can feel it as well.
You eventually also, with your hoof foot, Arthur, you're able to kick this large wooden plank type thing.
And you said it's huge, so it's not something I could like reach down and try and lift up, right?
You could with help, probably.
Yeah, give me a hand, Sentinel. I'm gonna reach down and try and.
So the two of you together, you begin pulling up, like, so you guys actually have to like reach down, like get neck deep almost. Sentinel, you're a little larger, so it's not quite that bad for you. But Arthur, you're like neck deep as you reach down to grab this thing and tug, and the bottom of the murky bog is like sucked this thing and is holding it like concrete. You'll need more help.
Hey, come here.
Okay.
Joel comes on. Yep, Joel comes on over too. Darian, you come over. Anyone else?
I will.
I rope to the big snail and have him pull.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll
So-
help
so
tie
you-
the rope up.
Yep, so you guys work at it. A couple seconds later, you just hear like a scorch as this thing is yanked free from the murk, and immediately it comes flying up out of the bog and then floats nicely on top. You have found a large raft.
Ooh,
Oh.
look at that.
Oh,
All right, now.
Hey,
we can-
And it
Right.
stays floating.
Okay.
It stays.
It stays floating. The raft, it's an 8-foot square wooden raft, and there's a large like pole that's kind of like fitted into like circlets that were like built into the side of it that you can use to like navigate it or like pull it along, and it can support 1,200 pounds.
Wow,
Dang.
awesome.
and we've got a snail to pull it. That's great.
Yeah.
So
we get break up.
Arthur's immediately going to kind of get on the raft, test its stability, and make his way over to where the pole is fitted into those ringlets, and basically begin to steer as soon as anybody who wants to get on can get on. I have proficiency in vehicles water, so I'm assuming I know how to steer this.
Yep, no problem. So you guys get it hooked up to the snail. Arthur kind of is testing out the pole, and you now have a working raft.
How heavy is
Oh,
Sentinel again?
That's what's
Yeah,
up.
so I'm gonna ride the snail. So then
Okay.
the raft, you guys can all fit on the
He's
raft.
a little, I think, a little too heavy for
Big
all
boy.
of us to get on there.
Yeah,
Good eye, or I guess good foot, Sentinel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little
Good talent.
Just
Yeah, no,
helps
that's
a
almost-
lot, actually.
grabbed at me.
He'll
Would've
climb
thought.
So
Trust
you
your,
all,
trust your instincts, man.
Yeah.
so you all board the raft, and you begin continuing on with the snail pulling, Sentinel riding slime bucket towards the tower. You travel like this for another few hours, eating your rations upon the raft, the bog seemingly adjusting in height as the hours pass. Never really going higher than at its worst when you found the raft, but it does get to a point where the raft is like skidding along the murky bottom, hitting rocks and different things and jostling you guys around until the waters eventually begin to rise again and you float slightly above the swamp floor. Night descends upon hither, and when the night comes, the bog completely diminishes, leaving nothing but a wet floor for you. Muddy and difficult to move in.
I'd probably try and ease up and say we should probably rest for the night. If we went instead rather than continuing, because it's pretty dark. You said just kind of everything disappears in the fog. I'd suggest we do that. We don't have to, but that's kind of my idea. Is we could all kind of rest on the raft if we wanted to, other than Sentinel. If someone wants to switch to the snail.
I think after watching how those bodies were absorbed when they laid motionless in the ground for a while, it might be best to keep ourselves elevated
Yeah,
and
that
separated
Agreed.
whatever is on the bottom.
Yep, I agree. So I think
You
the
guys
plan
are
is
gonna take a rest then? Is that the plan?
on the raft, yeah, and the snail.
Yeah, no, I would do that.
So you guys kind of make a small camp. Would you like to make a campfire or anything like that?
Everything's
Do
pretty
any of
wet.
you
I'm not sure
need-
we'd have.
A campfire?
It's a pretty like arid, humid climate here in this bog, so it's not like you need warmth. It would more be to like give yourself some type of light. There are a lot of fireflies which provide a small bit of illumination, but nothing that you can like see very easily with.
I got
dark
it.
Vision, I'm good.
Oh yeah, you have dark vision. Arthur has dark vision.
I have
Darren
dark
has dark
vision.
vision.
I think just Sentinel
Do not.
and you, Jamie, and Joel
Yeah,
doesn't
just
have it
me too,
either.
And Joel, obviously.
But the fireflies don't give us enough to see. right?
And yes, they are. There's a lot of them, but they kind of just flicker every once in a while.
Okay. Well, then
Hmm.
I
We're concerned as
will.
well about like a watch or something. I mean, I'm an elf. I do only need 4 hours.
Yeah, I was gonna say what I can do here is I have this little thing, and I will pull out like a tiny little like a bulb or something, like a glass little, and I am going to get one of the fireflies in it, and then I'm going to kind of like shake it. I'll add a little drop of something else, and it will glow using my magic tinkering.
Okay.
To
Oh yeah.
it creates 5 foot radius of light, and it's going to be the color of light as the rest of the fireflies to not make us see too weird. And yeah, so we do have light to see on this raft.
Yeah,
Like we can
you
see
now
everything on the raft.
Perfect.
That's about
you
it.
now have a small yellow, greenish yellow, glowing vial essentially that Jamie has put together for you guys.
So
All right.
is that
Good thinking.
if they see anything, they're good.
Darby, you said you were going to be the first for watch.
Probably gonna be the first to the last. So I just need
I say I'll take first watch if you want to get your 4 hours, and then I'll hit.
hit Darien, and then since we're the ones that can see in the dark, apparently Darien.
Yes.
The
I mean, we
human
know you can
guys.
see in the dark. You
Yeah, so
antler
I'll take Ethan. I'll take
brain
first
here.
watch, and that. Or sorry, Darby said he's gonna take first watch, and then after his 4
I can
hours,
take
I'll take
first
over.
or last. I don't really
Okay.
care.
So Darby, you will take the first watch then. Everyone kind of goes off and well, not really goes off. You're all kind of confined to
Yeah.
this raft here, but you go and you get your first night's sleep here in Hither, which will give you a full rest or
Nice.
long rest, excuse me.
And you said
Um,
so, Darby. You said you took first watch, so then it would
Yeah,
have been
I'll take
Arthur and
first.
then me.
I'm just like,
When I'm
flip a
swapping off
coin.
with Arthur after I've had a little bit of time to sleep, I'm like, Arthur, I felt really good after I ate part of that rabbit, but now I feel absolutely terrible. So yeah, okay, you have a good point. I feel bad, but it did taste really good.
I'm not asking you to feel bad. I'm just asking. I'm asking more for the safety. What I saw, like I said, I've seen it in myself, and it's something I've tried to push to the very bottom recesses of who I am. Enjoying that kind of pain. That's not something you just get rid of.
Oh, and I was
So-
okay with it for like a few hours. That's the part that I'm worried about.
And to be honest, from what I see, you're gonna be okay with it again. It's something you got to figure out how to deal with. But I'm just more so on the side of let me know if you can't control it, because then we have a bigger issue.
You're not wrong. All right, I'll take this watch over because it's not an issue anymore. I still feel very full, which I guess is a silver lining.
so the watch order
Right.
was Darby, Arthur, Darien.
Yes.
So you have the last bit of the watch there, Darien, and you're kind of just sitting there. You obviously can see in the dark, but you do have Jamie's little light vial there that hasn't really it hasn't extinguished given his tinkering abilities. And as you're kind of just sitting there, admiring the landscapes of Hither around you, there's a tap on your shoulder, and Joel stands there, kind of looking half asleep, half awake, but he kind of just sits and says, I can't really sleep.
Yeah, I don't blame you. This place
Place,
isn't as pretty as I thought it was gonna be.
this place is very strange.
Do you know anything about Faye, Joel?
Faye? Pff, I can tell you about pizza.
I mean, pizza do be good. I don't know much about Faye myself, Joel. I was misled. I thought this place would be pretty, and it is not. Although the fireflies are pretty nice.
Well, didn't the clown-looking dude say something that this used to be pretty till those hags got a hold of it?
That's a good point. But still, this is a lot of ungood stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, but it's all good. It's all for a good cause.
Yeah.
Hey, I wasn't really sure how to ask other people, but given the whole like what's going on with you, what memory were you gonna give the urn if we had gone that route?
Well, I was gonna try to give it a bullshit memory if I was gonna be totally
Let's
honest
say
with
a
you.
bullshit memory didn't work.
Oh man, well, not too many people know of my background, Joel, but I grew up in a military family, and my father hanged people for not abiding by his racist ways. And it was a terrible memory. I got to see a lot of my friends and family murdered before my very eyes, but that turned me into who I am today. So it sucks, but I don't think I would want to get rid of it.
Man, I thought my dad was a piece of shit. Well, he never hanged anyone, but he helped some pretty bad people not go to jail. You know, corporate lawyer and stuff like that. There's this one time for me where, so I was trying to get into law school. Well, he wanted me to go to law school and, do his shit and stuff like that. I was gonna get this big scholarship if I passed this test, and I didn't study very well for it because I didn't fucking want to go to law school and do that whole stuff. And well, I failed it. I missed out getting a good scholarship. He found out. He's pretty certifiably pissed, and we got in an argument. He decided instead of just arguing and letting me fuck off with my choices and stuff like that, he thought it'd be a good idea to show me his right hook that he hadn't used in a bit of time. Not since his boxing days in like college and stuff. Bam! Right in the jaw and fucking dislocated it. I had to go to the hospital and get, get it fixed up, everything. He's a lawyer. He's big. People in town love him. He's a good guy. He'd never do anything like that. And I'm the fuck up. So, who listens to the fuck up? That was the memory I was going to give. Because, fuck that.
Well, Joel, I think that memory, well, it does suck. We got some daddy issues, my boy. But
Tell me about it.
it made you a little bit of who you are today, right? I mean, that was kind of a defining moment for you where despite the outcome, you're still like, fuck it. And now look at where you are. You're in a land that nobody knows, on an offshoot to try to save someone that you love. I think that's pretty admirable, Joel.
Yeah, I guess. I, you know, eh, Sometimes I sit around and there's times that I think and wonder and I'm like, fuck, I hate being me. But, yeah, I'm me. What can I do about it?
You make some freaking awesome pizzas, I tell you what.
Well, I'm glad. Doesn't change the fact that, he kind of leans back, kind of, rolls over a bit. Doesn't change the fact that fucking really said she hated my guts, but, pizza's
Well,
pizza, man.
Joel, to be fair, I don't think Marilli hated your guts. She said a lot of that under the influence of a very powerful necromancer. So I wouldn't take too much of it to heart. I'm sure she loved you in her own way.
Well, I hope so. And you know what? When we get to that palace and we save her and everything, all good. It's like none of this ever happened. It's a bad memory. You can toss it right in the urn.
Well,
Then she can't hate me anymore, can she?
I mean, now Joel. We don't know for certain that Marilli is who we saw in the palace. It did look just like her. I will give you that. But I think it's one of those things where we want to under-promise to ourselves and over-deliver in the best-case scenario. So I wouldn't get too hung up on it. But no matter what, this princess, Marilli or not, needs our help. And in the process, we can acquire some tools to help better the entire world when we get out of here. And if that princess happens to be Marilli, that's just going to be icing on the cake. But I don't want you to get too hung up on it, because last thing you need is for it to not be Marilli, because you're just going to be hurting yourself again.
Well, I guess we'll see when we get there then.
That we will.
He doesn't really know what else to say to that, since obviously that's a thought that's been weighing on his mind too. And he sort of just rolls back over, and pretends to fall back asleep. But you know, Darian, he's not actually asleep. He's just laying there.
I'm just gonna mumble to myself, just quietly enough to where he might be able to hear it. Be like, I wonder what we can make a pizza into out of all this stuff. Looking around at like the nasty trees and the mud and stuff.
You might hear him chuckle a little bit. You just go like, pfft. All right. Darian, your watch ends, bringing you to the early hither mornings. The sun, or there's not, I really shouldn't call it the sun. There's not really a sun here in the other. It's more of just light begins to appear over the horizons. And the fog and mists are too dense here in the swamp for you to really tell what's creating it, but it exists. Ever been on one of those countryside early mornings when you wake up and it's not really like blue outside in the sky, it's almost like this pale white as like the fog rolls through the hills?
Yes.
That's essentially what you wake up to this morning, except you are in those hills, and those hills are a swamp. You start coming to after a kind of restful night's sleep, enough to get a long rest, but
Terrible
enough.
nightmares.
Yep,
Okay.
for those of you that had
Nightmare.
nightmares, you had terrible nightmares.
Yep.
Essentially related to the horrible things that you experienced in the mine. So you.
As I was going to
forgot
say,
about
is during Joel and Darian's conversation, if they were to pay any attention to Arthur, he was like, I wouldn't say violently tossing, but he was visibly like sweating and upset.
Who I believe Sentinel and Jamie failed that, but Darian and
Darby.
No, I
Darby.
didn't fail the memory one.
No, in the mine, yeah,
The
you
mine-
did.
the
'Cause
mine
you were
train.
all walking towards that giant
Yeah, no,
magical
I-
being. You described your worst
yeah,
fear.
no, I didn't fail that. Yeah, I didn't fail the check though. You told me about my fear, but I didn't fail the check.
oh,
Yeah, no.
I thought you said you'd failed, so I gave you that vision.
No.
That was the
I-
only
that's
people
why I
who
was thought-
only the people who failed got the vision.
Oh no, you'd asked Elvis to describe their fear. Yeah, no, I had rolled past
Oh.
that one.
You
That's what I
asked.
was-
You
that's
asked
what I
for
was saying.
Jamie's. You asked for Jamie's fear, like retroactively. Like, what would it have shown? Because you needed a plot point, I think, for the future,
Yeah,
possibly.
I didn't.
No,
Yeah,
no,
I
no.
totally.
I think we misunderstood. So Ethan
I-
was only asking for people who had failed, so that must have been mistranslated.
That's fine. Not
yeah.
a biggie.
We can always
So,
go
you
back
will
to the VOD without that.
It doesn't really do anything in terms of like your character or anything. So we'll
Hmm.
just say that
Yeah, about
I don't.
that.
I don't mind it. I don't mind
Yeah,
having
the horrible nightmares come to you, but it doesn't.
Yep.
Again, it doesn't really do
The
anything.
world-eating gods.
Yeah, no, I will. Say that is the beer that's having. I'm cool with it.
So as you guys are coming to, a particularly strong fog seemingly sets in upon you, as if rolling in like tidal waves. It obstructs much of your vision, and off in the distance you can see three figures begin to take shape, as if floating towards you. As they near you, you gaze upon three hideous creatures. The first is a toad-like shape, with bulging eyes and cracked skin. She's clad in shapeless garments and sits upon a floating lily pad. Her legs dangle over. Flies flit in and out of her mouth, which hangs slightly ajar. The second figure totters forward on a rocking horse. She wears a grimy old-fashioned shawl, and her skin looks like gnarled bark. Her face both reminds you of your grandmother and the monster that lives under your bed. And finally, the third figure is draped in dark black robes. Her face hides behind a veil. However, you feel like you can see something skeletal behind that veil. Her long fingers twitch, and extra hands appear from within the folds of her dress. These creatures near you, and they kind of, as I said, float in towards the raft, but they keep their distance just enough. They don't come right up to you as they begin sort of monitoring or admiring.
Gonna wave at him.
And they kind of see that you notice them, and their eyes perk up for a second, and they sort of inch forward slightly. The woodish looking one on the horse steps off of it. Her bare feet that look as if they were rooted at one point float just above the swamp floor. Oh, look at this. Deary's here, my dears. Deary's come to visit us here. The other? Callers, girls, callers, mind your manners. Oh, we have gentlemen callers here today. The toad frog looking woman that like floats upon this lily pad, you can actually see her lift her throat, and like this huge almost like frog like bubble begins like pulsating in and out from where her throat would be. Sister, why do you think that they have come, sister? And then the skeletal one in the black reaches a gnarled, bony hand out and points towards you, Darby. There's that one. One there. Energy. Energy. I can feel energy from them. Fey energy. Oh, you dearies don't mind my sisters one bit. Oh, they might make up a large portion of the other, but it's your old Granny Nightshade. She's the one who'll treat you right. We should introduce ourselves. Granny Nightshade. My sister, Belle Verona, and she kind of indicates towards the frog woman. And our youngest sister, Adeline. We are the controllers here of the other now, dearies. Just your friendly neighborhood grannies, you could say.
Sorry,
Yes.
you said Granny Nightshade, Belle Verona.
Yes.
And Endelyn.
Kendall.
And Granny Nightshade is like the wooden one on the horse. Belle Verona is like the frog swamp one, and then Adelyn's like the skeleton in the dark robes with the veil.
These
Skeleton
are
in the
Thank you.
closet.
definitely the hags. Probably.
What? No. These are just 3 random NPCs that exist. There's no way these
mean-
are the hags.
Could be. I'll say.
Carry on, Ethan.
They definitely
Nice-
don't
nice
exude
to
boss
meet
monster
you.
energy or anything.
Say, nice
They
to
seem
meet
cool.
you.
Oh, it's so
Yes.
nice to meet you too. Oh, besides a few children that wander into our realm, we have very few visitors, especially such fine young gentlemen like you are. And she reaches a hand out, and it almost seems to like extend out into the fog, and she grabs your cheek, Darian, and pinches it almost like a grandma would.
Oh, thank you for
That
that.
touch.
So, if you guys are the controller of this place, do you know this Egeron guy? The scarf
Egdon?
fellow?
Egdon.
Egdon?
Yeah,
Hey!
Silver Scarf,
Long stuff.
Long Scarf.
Hector! He's my servant.
Oh, yeah, we met his bunny brigade, and I just wanted to make sure there wasn't a power struggle here, because it seemed like he laid claim to the bog here.
I have all the power here. This is my hither.
Understood.
Sounded like it was his.
Yeah, they made it sound like he owned it, but if he's under your command.
That
then
is
it
what-
makes sense, I guess.
That is what the. Actually, I know. Jamie's not listening.
Likes to think that she controls this place, but there's much more in control of this swamp than meets the eye. Bad sister! Bad sister! Oh, do not mind them, dearies. They like to bicker like tiny schoolgirls. You talk to Granny Nightshade and she'll treat you right, though. Now why have you come to our other?
Well, to be totally honest, we kind of stumbled into it a little bit on accident.
Oh,
But we were
there have been
admiring that
many
palace.
people. Oh, yeah. The palace where our good queen used to live. Oh, before the dark times came. Oh, that they did, dearies, they came.
The dark
That
times.
girl
Yeah.
fell from the sky. Oh, and when she fell from the sky, that beauty, it just changed so much. Knocked our queen right into a A bit of a sweet that she did, dearies. Oh, that's some powerful magical energy coming from that girl. Yo, Granny Nightshade never seen anything like it before. Power! Power!
So you said
And
you're the princess who's in the castle now fell from the sky and killed your queen?
Well, put her into a deep, deep slumber. The most perfect slumber that she could be put under. With a little bit of magic and a little bit of coven power, mind you, dearies.
I'm confused. You're saying that a girl, a random girl, fell from the sky and hit your queen, and who is now sleeping. And the queen is the one who is sleeping right now, and not the girl who fell from the sky.
Oh, is sort of one and the same, dearie. The girl descended from the sky, and she was taken into our care from the queen. And we sensed her magic, and we used that magic to conjoin the two of them and put them into a dark, dark sleep.
Ah, okay.
Ah,
That
So you use the
Makes
girl to trap the queen. Okay.
Not trapped, dearie. Just asleep. And with her serving as her proprietors while she rests her sweet little head. Isn't that right, sisters? That is right. Yon has never been so fine under my control. Oh, and Thither has never looked so wonderful. Except when Granny Nightshade sprinkles a little bit of her magic on it. Stay out of my swamp! Don't touch my swamp!
hey, Shrek.
Yeah, okay, Shrek. We're not trying to stay in your swamp. We're not even fairy tale creatures. I don't know why you're
So,
mad. But
so you guys are
I
turning
think
the
you
world
literally are a
into.
fairy
actually, I literally am.
You guys are.
Half of our
I'm a
party is
monster.
literally fairy tale creatures.
So you guys are taking control while the queen is sleeping, taking a much needed break, and you're
Yeah.
turning the other into your ideal visions.
Into the visions that work best for everyone, dearie.
Oh,
Just
okay.
think about it. My good sister Belle Verona. She brings out the fear here in people. Sucks people in like a bog and brings them down, dearie. And Edelyn. Oh, she makes people despair, unlike you've ever seen, dearie. Cold and wet like a mountainside. And if you ever come to Thither, dearie, oh, and Granny Nightshade so hopes you come to Thither, dearie. I'm gonna make you wonder exactly why you're even alive.
And these are considered good things in this
Well,
land?
of course they're good things. The only things that our coven can do is good things, dearie. Why, just look at it. Isn't this place hideous? But my Thither is beautiful. Why, Hither is not hideous. It's gorgeous, gorgeous, I tell you.
It's something, alright.
Interesting. So you all have 3 different domains, but they kind of conflict with each other a little bit, right? So you want everybody to experience despair, which I feel like despair is a very elongated kind of thing, whereas another person wants you to wish that you were never alive, but like I guess that could be despair. But who gets more credit in that case? Do you get more credit for creating despair through us not wanting to be alive, or do you get all the credit because us not wanting to be alive is a grand form of despair? Is this a team effort?
It seems to be a smart one, sisters. I like a good smart one. I like breaking them down.
Oh,
Oh, you don't mind her at all, dearie. You don't mind her at all in any way.
Yeah.
gotcha. And
Mhm.
what was the frog one? Her thing with what was her thing with her
Essentially fear or anxiety.
Fear. Got it. Okay, that was what it was. Fear.
One strikes fear, one despair, and one makes you want to die.
Gotcha.
Wish you were never alive. There's difference.
Oh, I'm
Yes.
sorry. True. Yes,
Mm.
there is a difference.
Well,
There's
is there like
slight difference.
a preferred method of going through your domains to experience this? Like, should I visit one first? I imagine we're. Well, actually, I don't know which one this is.
I'm just gonna look at Darian like it's not obvious that we're in a bog and it's
We're
not the frog
literally-
lady's area.
Yes,
Oh,
a
you're in
giant
hither right
frog
now.
lady. Right there.
You really have stumbled far, haven't you, dearie? Why don't you come into the arms of Granny Nightshade and she'll take you someplace real warm and pleasant in her humble embrace.
No thanks. I have the ick, and I wouldn't want to get you sick.
Yeah, when he gets sick, it's pretty crazy. He flies and shoots all sorts of craziness.
That
We've
sounds-
had to tie stuff down in our place. It's
Well,
really
that
bad.
just sounds absolutely terrible, dearie. To be such a strange freak that no one quite understands. Sometimes you must just sit there and wonder to yourself, what even am I? But Granny Nightshade make you feel all better.
That doesn't sound bad to me.
I mean, I just met you. I'm sure, after a few other chance encounters, maybe. But I think I'm okay for now, though I do appreciate the offer. I'm still getting acclimated to this new land and admiring the scenery. Of which there really isn't any, because there's a lot of fog.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to see any of it.
Yeah, we're looking to head to the castle.
Yeah, at some point we'd like to go to the castle.
Oh! Well, you can't get into the castle. It's long been sealed by ancient magic, dearie. Ancient magics we control very close and very dear.
Oh, is it because you don't want people waking up the queen? What if we were really quiet? Because we are fans of architecture, and I've never seen a crystal castle before. We'll be quiet. We won't wake the queen.
I told you, sister. He's a smart one. Give him to me. Let me ruin everything that he is. Get him out! Get him out of my swamp! Get him out! Oh, you've done an upset Balrona now, dearie. We can't let
Didn't mean
anyone into
to.
the castle. It's too precious to us now, dearie. But you can enjoy hither, thither, over yon as much as you want, as much as your little heart's desire. Well, if you come on over to thither, Granny Nightshade cook you up some fine cookies.
Watch it. And Ethan, am I getting any feeling of vague familiarity of these three? Like I've met them before at all?
Yes, there's
Okay.
definitely an interesting presence they're giving off to you.
Which one is Pips?
Which one
Yes, they're on
impersonated
the
him?
same
Yes.
thing.
That you don't know. You don't know who
Which
they
one
are,
impersonated Squeak?
Weeks.
That's the
That's
more
very
important
clearly Adeline.
one. You're
I
yeah.
was thinking
yeah.
the same thing.
Or
Well, so they know exactly who I am.
Yeah.
And I've got enough of a feeling that I know who they are. So, well, we're gonna continue on our adventure. I think
Well,
there is a tower over there that would have been cool to see.
I am curious as to why one of you pointed directly at me. That was very strange.
Oh, dearie, it's 'cause we already know all about your friend over there. Oh, he's just a little wellspring of energy. Probably, more so than that, or not quite as much as that girl that dropped down not that long ago. But you, dearie, you give off your own special kind of energy. And I could tell, Granny Nightshade can always tell when you make the most delicious snack.
I knew he looked tasty.
No, it's not the time.
Arthur's going to
Darian.
elbow Darian.
This is not the time, Darian.
Sisters,
Must
I
I get a
say
little
we
elves
split
here?
them. There's 6 of them. 2 apiece. I want the antlered one. I'm not quite done with him since we last spoke. Now easy, Adeline, easy. I guess they're just getting acclimated to their new home here in the other. We should let them explore a little bit, figure out just what they're in store for. Let them really break down and tenderize out those emotions. I'm sure that Balrona, you'll love to turn them into small little sputtering bugs of fear. Adeline, you'll love to turn these dearies into walking, lifeless bodies almost. Oh, and the two of you that come to Grand and Nightshade, dearie, you'll have the most wonderful time. You'll have the most wonderful time when you finally decide to end it all.
Look back at the group like, so are we splitting the party or what?
This is not getting us anywhere,
No, it
and
is not at this point. We're talking in
quite
circles.
frankly, I'm glad you've all had the chance to introduce yourselves, but we've got
Yes.
somewhere to be.
We got things to look at and places to go and whatnot.
Because your lands are very curious to us, and we would like to
Yes.
explore them before you make us despair and want to unalive and are scared about it. If that's
Well
okay.
then, dearie, all hither's your oyster right now. But do pay mind that when you grow bored of wandering aimlessly through these swamps that... She pats Balrona. My good sister would love to take you in her city of downfall. Treat you real nice. Maybe send you some of you my way, some of your Endland way. Oh, dearies, welcome to Granny's house. And they kind of just fade back into the fog, and that fog rolls back out like a tide pulling out, and they are gone.
There's some bad Juju Magumbo going on here.
Yeah, so you've talked to them before, Darian, huh?
I'm pretty sure they're the ones that didn't let me die and threatened to keep bringing me back to life until I was hardly human.
That sounds about right.
Oh, okay. Well,
They,
then.
Am I the only one here that's just kind of like, what the fuck is this place?
Oh, I think that's
Well-
all of us. We're just kind of not
We're
Putting it out there.
internalizing it.
So
Because
just
we-
trying to figure out
we're
what
kinda used to it.
information they were going to give us, because as much as we seem to go the offensive route when we come to talking to people, there was a mention of possibly convincing them to let go of their magic. They clearly did something to whatever used to rule this land, and now have taken ownership of it by putting them to sleep. So we need to figure out either A, how to kill them, which probably will be our main strategy, or B, figure out how to convince them to let go of their magic. Each individual one to let go of their magic.
I don't think they get along that well. That's
I don't
that's
either.
my
That's
whole thing.
very clear.
I think that's
yeah.
our big Trump play there.
We
I
just
I think
need to
Granny
figure out what
Nightshade's
each
the
one
most
wants.
powerful one of the three of them, though.
Oh, she definitely
Yeah.
seems to be the one in charge.
We need to
She
figure out a
seems
way
like
to
a
turn
nice
them against each
lady.
other.
Sentinel, you're so naive.
Girl, did we talk to the same lady?
Yeah, she wanted to give me a hug.
You
Yes,
poor,
Sentinel.
That's
poor
not.
did.
naive little
That's
chicken.
not
It was
a
a
lady,
hug of death.
Sentinel.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's Jamie's more apt than anybody here. It's not a lady. That is an image she is projecting for you to view. That is
Yeah,
an
yeah.
ancient, malicious being designed to essentially be the antithesis of you, where you want to bring the goddess's light to people. She wants to deprive them of all joy until they literally take their own lives. That is her. That is what her existence consists of.
There's going to be no convincing those things to give up any semblance of control. The only thing you can do is eradicate them.
Well, never say never.
For once, I agree with Jamie on this one. That was too weird.
Well, I mean,
I'm not saying we shouldn't
all for
eradicate
it
them.
because they seem terrible.
I'm
but
just saying there's always a chance. You never say nothing is possible.
I don't want to get in over our heads because they literally own this entire world. I don't know what their power is like.
I think any of us know what they're
When have we ever considered what somebody's power was like before we tried to murder them, though, Darian?
Yeah, don't you remember with the whole stone and the massive outbreak of people that came in all of a sudden out of nowhere, and we just decided, yeah, sure, let's fight it.
Fair.
This is different.
This is well. it's
Well,
not that
I don't
different.
disagree, Jamie.
Xanthro is probably on their level to some extent.
We
From our
do need to
perspective.
take
Xanthro.
minds not to get in too much in over our head with bargaining with these things, though, too, because they manipulate the very nature of reality here. So as much as I'm in favor of murder being our first option, there is talking to be had, especially if we can at least pit one of them against another.
Yeah. Any edge we have is a mile of free. I don't know what I'm saying. And every edge we get
understood.
is
Yeah.
helpful. We need every edge we can get.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Well,
saying.
there we
Those
go.
are the
There we go.
words in the order. That took me way too much time.
Are you okay?
To that,
Smell toast? Did you have a stroke?
That fall, man, it really knocked a lot out of me. I don't know.
Are you smelling toast?
Here, I don't even know what I'm smelling.
well, to that, there's got to be some
Uh.
friends of the queen, some people
Yeah,
who
I'm sure
are
somebody
not.
here doesn't like them. In fact,
So
as much as we might
I
not want to
agree,
go talk to
Sentinel.
them, the Bunny Brigade and their good old Eggdon man, he seems to think he lays control of the swamp, and I don't think the hags there much appreciated that sentiment that he has.
As we were riding away on their giant snail, he did say that we made an enemy of Agdon and the Bunny Brigade, though. So
Yeah, I'm sure we can return the snail; it'll be fine.
well, sometimes our enemies are our closest friends.
Yeah, the
You know,
enemy of
Look
my
at-
enemy is my greatest
Sentinel,
ally.
You've never spoken a truer statement. I was the one who tried to get Lord Farquaad over to help us when we were fighting the Death Necromancer.
and he did.
He did, and some Rictavio did help us.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yes. He was our enemy, and then all of a sudden he just decided that he was our
We made a
friend.
Shrek reference. We're in a swamp. I had to say Lord
Yes.
Farquaad. So
Yes, prepare for the Shrek references
Oh,
to
yeah.
happen
Yeah.
quite
We
frequently. I
are,
can
we are
assume.
in a swamp. There's going to be a lot of Shrekening.
All right. Well,
Well, if
do we
we're-
continue towards the
Yes, we
tower?
can- yeah.
I think we should check out the balloon.
Yes, the balloon
Alright.
that fell near
Alleged
the tower.
balloon.
In your conversation with the hags, you actually started to notice the bog was raising a bit, so the boat or raft is no longer on the ground; it's actually floating a little bit.
Oh.
And the snail continues to take you guys along.
Yeah.
So you are nearing the tower. You're very close to this tower. It's kind of got a slant to it. It's kind of positioned in the ground weird. And you can see it off in the distance. It's almost as if the fog is like parted. But before you can reach the tower, there is a large, almost like hill mound that comes out from the swamp and extends and winds over to where the tower is. The bog kind of floats around it, but it never, even as it raises, it's almost as if it stops before going over this hill. And littered upon this hill are dozens of bodies, suits of armor, just all over the place. Weapons stabbed into armor, stabbed into the ground, arrows still pointed upwards and angled into the dirt. It looks as if this was once the site of a great battle.
We see any traces of the balloon?
Yeah, so at the tower, as you look over, you can actually see that the balloon has crashed into the point of the tower, completely impaling it, and the basket is completely blown out at the bottom and barely hanging on by 2 strings.
Oh, looks like we
Okay.
found our balloon. I don't know if we're going to be patching
Have I
it
seen a
up
hot
now.
air balloon before?
No, this would be a different type of technology you would be not super
Yeah.
familiar with. Maybe
Okay, so I-
like a drawing, but nothing in person.
Okay, like this is a balloon big enough to carry you into the air. That's genius, actually.
Yes, it is very interesting.
How would you control it?
Magic,
Simply
probably?
catapult.
They
I
use
mean,
like
I mean,
fire, and it ignites into the balloon, and it goes up, and then you can kind of like steer a sail, and it moves by. They're
Like
from where
a
I'm
ship
from.
sail?
A
wait,
little
what?
bit.
I'm sorry.
So,
You know about this balloon technology, Joel?
Yeah, it's like a hot air balloon.
so what I'm
People
gathering is
get in them,
someone
they go up in the air, they bob
someone
around for a
casts
little
fire
bit.
into the balloon, and then the balloon goes up, and then there's like a sail there that they don't somehow burn while
Well,
they're using their fire.
Yeah, I mean, they can kind of use a sail. They can just, I've been in one before where they just had a rope tied to the ground and you just went up in the balloon and bobbed up there. But like The wind can like blow you. You can kind of control it with like a rudder sail thing. Kind of cool. Hop around the world in 80
So
days.
this is a mage. This is a mage thing from where
Yeah,
you're
this is
from.
like a magic thing.
Like they fly in
Yeah, yeah. You call it a mage thing. It's probably the easiest way to explain it.
Okay.
As we're looking
okay.
upon this hill, you said that these countless bodies. Does it look? Do the bodies look fresh? Does it look like they were newly killed?
Everything looks very rusted, as if this battle happened. God knows how many years ago.
So are we stepping on the creepy hill to walk up to this tower, or are we?
Well, I don't know if I really want to continue to go through the swamp anymore at this point. Change of scenery is kind of nice for once.
Darby,
Fair
did
enough.
you see anybody on this balloon?
It was way too far
you know,
off.
I wouldn't even know if I... To begin with, it was way too far. I honestly didn't realize it was that large of a balloon at the time.
We could check to see if anybody's in the tower.
I mean, the basket is there. Whoever was controlling it should be nearby, alive or dead.
I mean, do we
Fair
think
enough.
that there was someone in it?
I mean, if what Joel was saying is correct, someone was controlling it.
Yeah, generally people don't ride hot air balloons without, someone in the hot air balloon.
Be weird to have a runaway hot air balloon, as he's calling it.
Also, not sure if anyone picked up on it, but one of those nasty ladies mentioned something about a city called Downfall here, too.
Yes.
I imagine that's where the bog sucks you into. I don't know why, that's what I pictured. They're like mole people.
Maybe someone in the tower knows about it, too.
Oh, if she controls fear, that's what we're thinking. Downfall is a pretty slapping name for a city.
Oh yeah, no, that's a... I mean, you'd think someone would, like, write something about that. That's
The
actually...
DM has given us the most legendary hint that the answers we seek are probably in this tower.
Well,
By
let's
legendary
go.
hint, I mean he basically said it, so let's go there.
Let's go to the tower.
Let's do the tower.
Well, we'll go to the tower.
We're off
We
to
have
see the
solved his tower
And then we'll
puzzle.
ask the tower after
Ethan,
dinner.
DM, we have selected the pause menu, gone to the quests, and hit main the tower and hit
Tower.
make
Yeah,
active
we've
quest.
moved the
Planted
tower quest to
tower.
the top because currently we don't have the resources to do the whole castle siege
You
thing.
just have the
so-
main quest of
The tower.
Thither, and then the tower is like a subset quest of that
yeah,
quest.
Yeah.
So, all right, so you guys step foot onto
15
this hill
branches
and
of questing.
kind of begin trucking your way up. Sentinel, you will have to leave your snail and the raft at the base of the hill because they can't really make their way up too easily.
Can I tie him off to some sort of stump or?
Yeah, there's stumps and trees
This
and
is
stuff.
gonna
You
lead
can
the snail.
lasso your snail
Oh
to it.
my god.
Yeah.
The
You
poor
know,
thing is
we
gonna be
have-
stuck here.
This snail's gonna work at the Safari Inn. For
Yeah, it is eventually going to be.
Right.
No, the snail will not work at the Safari Inn because some kid will get the bright idea to pour some salt on it. The poor thing will die.
Oh, you're
We
right,
can give it
okay.
salt armor.
Yeah.
Armor. This
Slow
armor gives you a
salt
plus 5
resistance,
AC
just-
against salt.
So you guys step onto the battlefield. You begin making your way up this like winding path. It looks like it was a cobblestoned road at some time and has just been so overgrown that you just see fragments of like the brick and stuff. And as you make your way to the center of the battlefield, you hear rustling and you kind of look to the sides and you begin to see the rusted suits of armor that once lay dormant begin to stand up.
Damn it, Ethan! I knew it.
About 10 of these suits of armor stand up. Some have arrows in them, swords in them, missing pieces. One of them stands up. You actually see like dust begin to like come out of its cracks as the body that was once in it has just completely disintegrated to nothing and it just leaks out its crevices. And they just stand there and look at you.
Are they like barring our path, or are they just
Nope,
standing up?
The winding path leads to the tower, and they are on the right and left of you, where the two armies would have clashed. And they're probably like 10 feet from you guys.
And they're not doing anything?
They're just standing there.
Just standing there.
We'll just keep walking to
Menacingly.
the.
All right, so you guys begin keeping walking to the tower, and all 10 of these armors turn and begin to walk with you.
They're gonna work at the Safari Inn. Let's go.
All of our waiters and waitresses, suits of armor.
Animated suits of armor.
If we
Keep an
stop
eye on them
walking,
to see
do
if
they
any
also
hostility.
stop walking if we stop walking?
If you stop walking, they stop walking. And you start to notice as you guys are walking, it looks like one of them is like slowly picking up on mannerisms. So like Darby, let's say like you go and fiddle with your hat a little bit, you actually see it reach up and fiddle with nothing on its head, as if mimicking you.
I'm gonna start
if-
flossing.
It
I was about to
starts
start
flossing as
dancing.
well.
Yes.
Oh, jeez.
We all start to do the thriller dance.
Yes.
They
Yes.
all start to do the thriller dance as well.
Yes.
As great as that is.
I think
Oh.
this'll work out just fine.
We got an army that copies what we do.
If
This is
they
great.
betray us and turn out to be malicious, I will be sad. I'm now attached emotionally to these suits of armor. But to the tower.
They knock on the door.
You guys make your way to the tower. You kind of move past this battlefield. And as you reach like the end of the battlefield and the last one of you crosses over, all of the suits of armor immediately just topple back to the ground as if they were lifeless.
Well then.
Aw.
So there's like a barrier as to where they can't get past.
Yeah.
That's weird. Interesting.
So
Very-
a crumbling
very neat.
stone tower rises out of the swamp, leaning at such an angle that it threatens to keel over. Black brambles surround the base of the tower and cling to its lowest half. Hanging from the tower on the lower side's peak is a large woven basket at the end of a tangle of ropes and tattered fabric. The basket dangles 30 feet above the surface of the swamp.
That's the balloons basket, I'm assuming.
Correct.
Pretty high up.
Sentinel knocks
bottom's
on
like-
the door.
So
And
you cannot
the
actually.
bottom is open.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
they
actually
said it blown out. The basket's bottom is blown out.
there's actually no door. There's just this bramble, this like winding. I wish I could kind of show you a picture of this thing. It's like this winding, like thorny weed that's
Foliage.
like around the base of this tower. Yeah. So as you approach it, you hear a. Excuse me, good sirs, down there, good sirs.
Look,
Hello?
Yeah. Do we look up?
So you
Hello?
look up where you see the basket, and dangling in a bunch of ropes is a cage, roughly about the size of a bird cage, and crammed in there is a small purple dragon with a mustache and a sword at his side.
we need to
Yes.
keep this dragon and introduce him to our other dragon. That might not actually be a
Purple
dragon.
dragon with a mustache. Is his name Spyro, Ethan? Is his
No, it
name
is.
Dang
His
it.
name is not Spyro. You have to
Yes.
ask him what his name
It's
is.
David.
Like,
God.
Yes.
hello, good
Oh, yes.
sir.
Cheerio,
Oh.
good lad, cheerio. I'm sure you've seen that I'm in a bit of a mind right here. My name is Sir Tristan, knight for the Queen, and her loyal servant. Well,
Like,
you see, I was in the midst of a daring escape from Downfall when my pilot had rescued me from the thrones of the Dark Hag. Unfortunately, I'm in a cage right now, couldn't do too much to help her, and we got shot out of the sky. She fell out of the basket, broke her back, and I've crashed here, still in this cage.
Where is she?
She fell out of the basket, that way. And he just points just off somewhere.
great.
You said she broke her back. How do you know she broke her back if she fell out of the basket and you haven't been able to find her?
I can only assume so.
Okay.
No,
Have her-
no.
that's
We
fine.
were a good probably 200-300 feet in the air before we were shot down. Not many things will survive that.
Yeah, that would do
No,
it.
yeah, that's.
How
Yeah.
did-
I
How
don't
did
think
you-
I would
that'll
have
be it.
survived it if my cage had not got caught on these damned balloon strings here.
What?
So you said you're
Why are you
like
in
the
a
loyal
cage?
servant of the queen, though, right? Like the one that's asleep up in the castle.
Of course, yes, Queen Zarova.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
His name.
Is
How high up is he, Ethan? Tangled up there.
He's towards the top of the. Well, the basket's 30 feet up, so he's in the basket, like dangling in this basket,
Okay.
basically.
oh, can I
in this
just climb up?
Yeah.
To the
Oh yeah,
Yeah, you got
definitely.
climb speed.
How did he?
Yeah,
I want to ask him how
Does
he
he have to
got
go
into
through
the
does he have to go
cage.
through the bramble first? I think he said the bramble was surrounding the base of the tower, though. So
Uh,
how would...
I will say with his climb speed, Jamie can probably navigate around it.
Okay.
Yeah,
No, you're in.
I'll move my way up to the balloon thing. Do I see now that I'm in its like touching range? What do I see about this?
Yep. So basically, Jamie, what you see is a basket, which, like I said, is currently blown
Mhm.
out. The sides like completely smashed in. Bunch of ropes that go up to this large balloon that is actually open at the bottom. Right now, it's deflated because it's been impaled through the top of the tower.
Mhm.
But there's an opening at the bottom that's pretty large circumference, and there is a metal device that is situated, and it's currently off its thing. It's like hanging a little bit, but it looks like it would be situated um to be underneath this opening to this balloon.
This is intricate. I'm gonna like take a look at it. I'm gonna touch it and like do stuff. Look at it like it's a
Do
the-
you touch the metal piece?
yeah.
So as you touch it, Jamie, immediately it glows a red, and a small flame shoots out and almost burns your hand. And as you pull away, it stops.
So it's just like a magical thing.
Correct.
Oh, okay. So I'll be like, oh, all right, but
Amy is immediately disappointed.
yeah, I'm like, okay, so it's just like, but now in my head, I'm like, but this concept, they've done this, huh?
Could you?
This is actually really, and you built this? I say to the guy in the cage.
No, of course not. The bullywogs in Downfall create these nasty little balloons here. Our queen would import them, we'd fly them around hither, thither, and yon as needed. Unfortunately, my protege and I, we made a daring escape from Downfall. I fought them off through the bars of my cage, and we hijacked the balloon and got out of Dodge before we were shot down.
Why are you in a cage?
Yeah, why are you in a cage?
Well, you see, after our Queen Zarova was put to sleep, I, Sir Tristan, took it upon myself that I was going to be the one to save her from the dreaded hags. And I thought where to start but the terrible swamps of Thither, which didn't used to be such terrible swamps when our Queen was in charge. They were quite nice, marshy paradise. Fairies and frogs, dancing and laughing merrily, until the hag brought her fear and her anxiety into all of it. So I thought, if anything, I could get the frogs, the bullywogs, to help me. So I went, sword drawn, right to Belverona's cottage, and I said, Belverona, I am Sir Tristan. You have put my queen to sleep. Now prepare to die. And she knocked me out with her staff and put me in this cage.
Ah,
I see.
Well,
But
That's
my protege, a hobbling by the name of Lady Skittlebutt, rescued me from the confines of Belverona's cottage. We fought tooth and nail through the bullywogs who have aligned themselves with the hag. Oh, the blood, all the adventure. Right to this here balloon. Now, luckily, Scuttlebutt, she is quite the pilot. She went to air ballooning school, mind you, and I thought that she could get us right out and over to Thither, where we would encounter Scabatha Nightshade and bring her to her knees. And then a lightning bolt shot our poor balloon right out of the sky. Fragments of thunder erupted around us, sent us careening right into the tower. Most daring escape.
so
I
if we
only
were to
wish it went
free
a little
you,
better.
you could bring us to Belverona's cottage.
I could take you right to Downfall if you like.
Is that where her cottage is in Downfall?
It's where she calls home right now. Now, she likes to make people think like that egged-on long scarf and the bullywog monarch that exists there in Downfall. She likes to make them think that they're the ones in charge. Gets it in their mind that people are trying to take over their leadership, take over their roles. Makes them paranoid, makes them quick to act, quick to kill. But she lives there in Downfield, pulling those strings, almost like Edelyn pulls her puppet strings in Yon.
You sold me. Jamie, you
Ha!
think you can break him out of
Yeah,
that cage?
you're already up there.
You're not gonna
Oh,
be
yeah,
able
no.
to pick this lock, my good friend. This here is a grade A magical lock, crafted by the finest craftsmen. This side of the other. You need a
Jamie,
special
break him
key.
out.
Yeah. Do you need like a
Yeah,
hammer? I'm sure
okay.
Arthur's got a hammer or something if you really need
I'll
that.
be like, oh no, magical lock. That's gonna be so crazy. I'm gonna do an investigation check on
Go ahead.
to see if I recognize the concept.
The concept of lock.
That is a 22.
22. So you kind of grab the cage, Jamie. You just like jerk it towards you to take a look at this lock. And it's not
Yeah.
a padlock. It doesn't have a keyhole. It's like a sigil. It's like a round thing at the base of this cage, and it's a just image.
So this is a magical lock, people. Image of what?
A stag.
Okay, this is a magical lock.
Do you think you could at least get the cage?
Yeah, I was gonna say, can you just take the
down?
cage down?
We can carry him around.
He said he fought from within the
I mean,
cage, so I'm sure he's still
Backpack
useful.
dragon.
Yeah, we got ourselves
Yeah,
a snail. We got ourselves a dragon.
So Ethan, is
I'm
he
gonna
about the
make
size of a
him-
fairy dragon? Did you say?
He is
Small?
a fairy dragon,
Okay.
actually.
Dibs
I'm gonna
on
make an
having
Arcana
backpack
check to
dragon.
see if I
I
can
mean, he's in a bird cage, so he's
understand
not very large.
the thing.
One sec, JD.
lock.
I'm sorry, I
Yes.
couldn't hear what you were saying.
Oh yeah, no, I was gonna make an Arcana check to see if I could recognize it. The
Go,
lock,
sure,
what
go.
kind of lock it is.
Yep, sure. Go ahead.
I don't know a whole lot about magic, but a 20 should do me pretty decent.
Damn.
Oh, wow.
It's
oh,
an
wow.
odd lock that you see here. You could surmise that you most likely either need another object with the sigil on it and touch the two sigils, or if you produce a key with that sigil, perhaps a lock will show itself.
Ah. Okay, so this is sort of like the key needs to be a symbol, and the symbol either is probably going to need to match. Now, I don't know if it's a specific, I could make something that looks like it, but if there's a particular type of enchantment on it, there's nothing I'm going to be able to do. But yeah, I can get you down. I can get you down from the
I would
ropes. at least.
appreciate it, good sir. Thank you.
Sir Tristan, you said the hag
That is-
put you in that cage?
Oh, she most did. Well, some bullywogs put me in the cage, but the hag ordered it.
Why did she kill you? Sorry, not for being brash, but
You know, it is an excellent question. I'm surprised she didn't kill me as well. But one thing I've learned about these hags is that they like to own and possess things.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Jamie would say, like, nonchalantly as getting out of the ropes, is gonna say, like, dead things don't scream, and I will throw the cage back down to the rest
I
of
will
Oh,
the
God.
catch it. I'm gonna catch it.
Dead
I
things
dare you,
don't
you catch
scream,
it.
cuts the rope with no
Yes.
safety.
I can fly, mind you. Please do not do that, though. It's very difficult to fly in this cage.
I would imagine.
It's okay. I will wear you like a backpack, good Sir Tristan.
Oh, I see that you are, Fae yourself.
That is what I am gathering.
not
It's
by
a new
birth.
development.
Yeah,
Not by birth.
no,
no.
definitely not.
Oh,
well,
you've been
by
touched
rebirth.
by a Fae in some way, shape, or form, then.
I'm pretty sure the hags have done this to me.
Oh, most dreadful. Do you have the consumptions?
The
Is
what
that-
now?
What?
Desire to feed
I
on
would-
Fae
I would-
energy.
Yeah, as I say, I
Yes.
would guess what you did to that rabbit folk back there would be considered consumption.
Well, yeah,
Yep,
he does
yep.
consume things. I mean, we all do.
Oh, most
He's a little
most
different from
apologies, my
Captain.
friend. Most apologies. The hags have turned you into a power conduit for them, essentially. As you feast on Fae energy, they sap that energy from you to power themselves. You'll feast
I
and feast
see.
and feast till you can't feast anymore, devouring anything with Fae energy within a foot of you. And then you'll die.
Oh,
Well,
well, that's unfun. Can
That's-
it be?
great news to hear.
Can it be undone?
It can be undone.
Oh,
Powerful magic from my queen should be able to do it.
The queen who's currently asleep at the behest of
My
the
queen who is
hags.
currently asleep. But with Sir Tristan, we shall ride off like gallant knights upon horses and rescue her.
So we have a
But-
snail. We don't have horses, but
Perfect. Almost as fast. I've seen many a snail in battle armored. I'm sure you've seen the battlefield right over there. Many a good snail died on that battlefield.
Look at that, Sentinel. You just tied up our buddy to a whole
we just
battlefield.
tied up a
of
great
snails.
warrior.
Yeah. Well,
Well, I think-
Yeah,
well, He is
I
my
didn't know
horse.
that at the time.
I think we got to get you out of this cage, and I think our best
Yes.
bet is
Skiing the hag nicely.
well,
Oh.
yeah.
Balverona will not let me out, but there is someone that will have the key to release me.
Oh,
Balverona has a keeper of keys, a queen of keys, you might call her. Jingle Jangle.
Jingle Jangle, and they're in Downfall.
No,
boy-
she lives up on the Telemy Hill, just that way over. He points to that big hill that's kind of just beyond this tower here.
So we're not that
Is
far.
she a
fix your-
boardwalk?
She is a hobbling. She'll fix you up real nice with any key you could ever want. Doesn't actually own the keys, makes the keys, almost out of thin air like magic. It's quite impressive. I will warn you, though, that Balverona's magic has driven her a little, loopy.
Everyone here seems to be a little loopy, I'm not gonna lie.
It is an
I
unfortunate thing after the hags touched down with their magics. Ever since that girl descended and they conjoined the two of them, our queen has slept and the hags have run free.
Well,
Well, I think we have our next destination.
yeah, I was gonna say if you're gonna be our guide here, it'd be more behoove us to get you out of this cage.
I'll be able to guide you around hither as best as I can. I'm more used to the Crystal Palace of Dreams, or Heart's Desires, excuse me, than, these dreaded lands, but I will do my best. However, I will not be able to guide you to either thither or yon. You'll have to find a conduit spirit for that who will be able to take you there.
Well, in the meantime,
Yeah,
Well,
let's take
I'm gonna get this-
one step at a time.
We'll
here.
I'm gonna
deal
get
with
this
those when we
balloon
need to
off
deal
the
What
with
is one
those.
step at a time when you could fill your quest log with pointless things to do?
Touche.
that
That
a
is
point.
one of my favorite pastimes. But
Well, sometimes you get lost in all the quests. Like, I don't even remember where I got this. I don't know what it's asking me to do.
I would like to complete a small side quest of equipped dragon backpack by fashioning 2 pieces of rope to this bird cage and wearing Sir Tristan on my back.
yes,
now have a Sir
let's
Tristan
give the
dragon
being
backpack.
that devours fey creatures a small, edible fey creature.
Hey, he can't get into the
Mhm.
cage. It's okay. That's
Yeah,
fine,
I'm gonna
sir.
get the balloon off the tower.
All right, so Jamie, you know, climb up a little further to the tower. You kind of begin taking a moment to unhook this balloon. You manage to drop it down, and it just kind of hits the murk, and there is a dilapidated balloon at your feet.
Okay. And the balloon like punctured, or is it just like was just holding on there?
It's punctured. It was impaled on the top of the
Yeah,
tower.
there's a big
There's
hole.
currently a hole in it about the size of Sentinel,
No, it's like I could.
and it impaled, so there are holes on both sides of it right now.
I could fix this.
Like a lot
We
of
could be
material.
able to fly out of here.
How long would that take, though?
I mean, honestly,
I-
We
But
do
I-
have a raft.
Like, you could give it a try. I mean, balloons are the quickest way to travel around the other here. But just remember, if Balverona shot me out of the sky, she could do the same to you as well.
but they can also just show up in a group of fog and do the same thing.
They could also do
only
that.
one is faster.
Well, you said the balloons are the fastest way to travel, so why would she... Would she assume that a random balloon in the sky is anyone particular?
Difficult to say. Possibly not. There are balloons that come and go from Downfall quite frequently, though I have not seen them as much as usual.
I think it would. I mean, it's up to y'all. even if I can get this to work, and I'm not even can do that, this is pretty new. But I mean, it looks simple enough. I could fashion it to the raft that we have, creating a false bottom, and then we'd be able to have something that flew, but then we'd have to the snail. Or we continue on with the raft, and I can try to reappropriate some of this stuff and try to help us in a different way. It just kind of depends. One will be taking air travel. We can go right to the Crystal Palace, or at least get there a lot faster. Or we could try to go the way we're going.
I'm kind of leaning towards the latter for now,
Same.
and keeping it on like reserve.
Yeah, I mean, we know it's here. I don't think it's going to be going anywhere anytime soon.
If your mean is to go to the Crystal Palace, now it'd be most difficult. The hags have sealed it off between a dense illusionary wall.
Yeah, we got to get the hags figured out first.
Yeah, don't worry. We're kind of on your side here.
Okay, well here, give
the
me
balloon
a,
will
give me a
definitely
second
be.
here.
The balloon will definitely be useful for getting to Thither and Yon once you find the conduit.
I think what I'll do is I will take a couple, like a minute or so, get the balloon portion rolled up with the rope of stuff. I will then use the basket without the bottom on the raft to make it like we have a little cart as opposed to just like a flat raft. So then we have cover. And then now we have some place to put shit. You don't have to worry about falling off the raft as easy. And we have stronger ropes to tie to the snail.
How much rope do you have, Jamie?
I have 50 feet of rope, like a regular adventure.
Yep, so you can go ahead and subtract. I'm trying to think. Subtract 20 feet of the rope, and that's for you to tie and fixating all of the things around the raft. To get all that.
I don't actually have any rope. I thought I had rope. I don't have.
Maybe you might have used it earlier. I remember you using rope.
Yeah. Oh yeah, use it for the death drop.
And you just said to buy some more later.
Oh, the death drop, and I left it there. Yeah, I actually don't have it.
Does anyone else have
rope
20 feet of rope?
From the balloon.
You do? Okay, yes, you do have rope from the balloon. That is a good point. I'll say you use the rope from the balloon. Okay.
Okay, cool. Yep. All right, so now we have a snail carriage as a snail raft.
We're living in bougie style, guys.
Oh, man. We've upgraded.
We can put the balloon on top of it at night, and then we will have cover, and then we can have light if we want, and it'll be nice.
It's like a Trojan balloon almost.
I don't know what that means, but sure.
Basically, like a bunch of dudes get into a giant wooden horse, and they give that wooden horse to an enemy empire, and then they take it in, and then everyone hops out and kills everyone.
There were people inside the wooden horse?
Why would they accept the horse from their enemy? That doesn't make any sense.
It's a long story. I'll explain it to you on the way.
Was the wooden horse alive?
Yeah, was it like
no, it was a wooden horse.
Well, we just rode, like we were just at a carnival of wooden horses that were alive, Joel.
Yes. Do you not remember?
Yeah,
that's not that weird.
Did your guys talk to you too, or were they just like?
No, they don't. You know what? Never mind.
So how did people fit in it? Like that's horses aren't that big.
It was a very large wooden
horse. If the horse is big enough, Darby, you could fit something inside of it if it was hollow.
It's not really a horse at that point. It's just a statue. It's a big wooden statue, but it's a hollow statue.
Yeah, it's
in the shape of a horse, Darby.
Yeah. So how are you gonna get that in?
You know what? If somebody who I was at war with, like my immortal enemy, gave me a giant gift, the first thing I'd think of is there's probably things inside that.
Yeah, like this is probably like a bomb of some kind.
Yeah, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Bombs when this story.
You know what? Great idea, Joel. We'll walk up to Belle Verona's house with a giant wooden horse. We'll all get inside. And she'll take it thinking it's a gift, and we can all jump out and kill her. Great idea.
Frog?
Sure.
We'll do it.
Sure. Giant wooden frog. Who's gonna build a giant wooden frog, everybody?
I'm not suggesting that we build a giant wooden frog. I was just saying this thing's like a.
You know, so Tristan, I don't suppose that you know how to build a giant wooden frog.
I feel so bad for Joel sometimes.
He does it to himself. I was engaged. Arthur believed in this idea.
Jesus.
Well, this conversation is most pointless and completely superficial. I would very much like to get out of this cage if that would be possible.
You know what, Tristan? You're really not in a position to make demands here. I appreciate your helpfulness,
Yeah.
but don't call my conversations pointless again.
Duly noted, good sir. Duly noted.
Thank you.
Don't think we haven't taken note of those embellishments you use in your speech. Those are also fairly pointless.
Oh, they are not pointless at all. They show my status. They show that I'm a man of honor.
Yep.
Caged
That's
man of
exactly
honor.
what those do. Yep.
I
They're
am a caged man
Let-
of honor. I will not discount my dignity, though.
Good,
definitely-
good.
I've met
good,
too
good,
many of
good,
your
good.
types to
So
actually
let's get you out of that thing, and we will
To the creepy hill
continue
place.
on our way.
to the big hill with the key master,
Right.
key blade
so
wielder that can unlock any lock.
you guys head back to your raft and slime bucket to untie him so you can make your way to Telemy Hill. And again,
Yeah.
as you pass through the battlefield, those suits of armor, those 10 suits of armor, they stand back up. And as you walk by, they just follow you. They mimic your movement. They just do different things. And when you pass by the battlefield, they all just collapse again.
That's a
I
neat
like
And you
fix,
guys-
huh?
Interesting
guys
way
have
to
a-
read people.
Arrived at the raft, and you begin making your way to the hill. And that is where we will end tonight's session.
All right.
Awesome. Way to go,
Yeah.
Ethan.
The
Killer
other is
session
weird.
again.
Yeah.
Ba-ba-ba-ba.
Killer session again, man.
Taylor session.